Yeah,
We live.
Oh, we live.
We live, baby.
Are we live?
We live, baby.
Okay, we are back. Shame on you.
Look, that's what you're starting with.
Oh, we live.
We always start off with a hum, huh?
Oh, I
you
didn't
on your
know.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Gotta get the beatboxing in the headphones.
Rory, are you okay? Rory, are you okay? Are you okay, Rory?
Are any of us okay?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. We all got fired.
Is anybody really okay?
Well, we got my boy Rory in the building.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Rory,
One
man.
of the best podcasters out here right now.
you don't need to lie to me. It's cool.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Big musician out here.
Yo, you want to tell me it's cool?
It's okay.
I'm good. Don't get me wrong. I ain't the best.
Hold on, Rory, let him get it off because we gonna get ours off. Rory, he want a job. That's what he trying to tell
Great
you.
musician, by the
play
way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, man.
You've never seen me play a piano.
I mean, well, rapper slash singer slash
He's not a
eclectic
rapper.
slash producer slash
Oh,
something.
shit, I did my digits.
You do music. You be at the studio.
Top 5 dead or alive, and that's all one LP for
yes,
sure.
sir.
I
Yeah.
actually rapped that. That was me that said that.
Woo.
That wasn't Jadakiss.
Wow.
I'm gonna say he's definitely lying.
He's definitely there. But yes, we have Rory in the building, man.
I appreciate the intro for real.
Yes, sir.
That was
man.
crazy because he doesn't clean. He only cleaned for 2 people. We're in episode 9. I've only seen him clean twice. The dust. He got a wipey. He was doing his thing, screaming at everybody to get the things together. It's for Jeezy and you.
Oh, I'm
That's
glad.
it.
So for our 2 guests that we
For our
have,
2 guests.
So only for guests, correct?
Only for guests.
Okay, that's good then.
Do you not clean
We
when
gotta
you
clean
have
up for y'all.
No, I do, but but he don't clean regardless.
Oh, I'm
Like-
glad I brought the Swiffer out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Look nice
This
here.
is a great space too. Thank you
first-
guys for having me. I really like this spot.
The first thing Rory started doing is taking pictures of what we got going on.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing?
I mean,
Big informant.
It looked like we got.
Adam sent me.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
we going there,
Like
huh?
we got $10 million over here. You know what I'm saying? This set. You know what I'm saying?
I also
we
never
got
said
paid.
That's why I love the internet. Never once did I say I got $10 million.
Man, I think your homie might have said you got $10 million, and he, said.
Maul
dude
never said we got $10 million neither.
So what's the real number?
Oh my God.
So did y'all get paid? Let's
The IRS.
Did y'all get paid?
Let's get to that because they said the set didn't look like $10 million. Let's
That
get
shit
to
like a couch in the living room, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, no, it wasn't $10 million.
Yeah.
But does the set have to reflect that wholeheartedly?
sometimes
And I don't want to do the shot thing. I know I said the Adam thing, so I opened the door with that shit.
I love it.
But shit, sometimes your set doesn't justify what your show does. I like State of the Culture, don't get me wrong, but you dumped tens of millions of fucking dollars in that, which I respect, not hating on it.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it comes to content, the set we have that you have is better and easier to be received by your listeners when you're not on a fucking multi-million-dollar set with a fucking jig and the dolly going in and the lighting and the dramatic, like, hey, we're here. So
It has to be organic.
so maybe that may not reflect that, but the work certainly does. If you look at my expenses that I sent to the IRS, yeah, $10 million set.
LLC's right. He's all right.
We ain't said nothing to the IRS yet, so don't get us. We don't know what's going on.
We bankrupt before we started.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Leave it up to a certain somebody. We gonna be making $500 a piece.
For sure. No
Like,
profit.
golly, no profit at all. I wouldn't want to do this shit if I was making $500 a piece, but we doing it, man. We doing pretty good for ourselves.
We
man.
got some nice little chili already, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? All money in though, man. Shout out Nipsey.
Yeah.
All money in. That's what you
All
say to the
money in.
IRS. We made no profits.
How money?
All
No
money
profit.
in. Everything went to this business.
Everything.
I wonder how much do they believe that to a certain extent.
They don't believe any of it until they want to.
True.
Till they send you that audit, because they know everyone.
When do you think
They know
start
everyone's
caring?
lying. It's just when they decide they want to say you lying. They're lying too.
I mean, have you ever got audited?
Yes, I have. It sucks.
Wow.
It really sucks.
You gotta really have chili to get audited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, you gotta have chili.
When you get
gotta-
your black horse, they could coming for you.
Oh, they already came for me. I'm saying it's bad. You feel me? I'm still paying payments.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's critical.
still,
Damn, I still haven't done my taxes this year. I gotta
They
do
seen
that.
that elevator and they said, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, for they seen the elevator, it was
Trying to get
over.
'em.
Wait. Did you get audited during your Tiger time, like with the clothes and shit like that?
everything ain't during Tiger time, okay?
I'm ready. It was a serious question.
I'm living my life here.
But you was talking about question Ferraris and shit.
Yeah, everything ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, that was way after that.
Okay.
I started getting chilly on by myself and not knowing what's going on.
And then they got your ass.
They got me. You didn't pay. We know it.
Come holler at us, young man.
Yeah.
90 days, 90 days, young man.
They don't even give you 90.
30 days, young man.
30?
24 hours, bitch. You better respond.
Shut your whole bank account down. And they didn't teach. I thought I knew how to solve for X in high school.
Yeah.
Can't fill out a fucking W-9, W-2,
I still don't know how to do that shit. I'm learning slowly.
1099. I can't figure that shit out. I'm learning. I'm 33 years old. Why the fuck am I learning this shit now?
Why didn't I always wanted to know that, and still to this day,
What's the
why
purpose?
don't they? You know what I'm saying?
The answer's
in school.
easy.
You know what I'm saying? Why don't they, teach you some type of financial literacy? Why don't we know about the credit card applications or trying to buy a home, even trying to get an apartment, even trying to get a car? Like, why don't we know these simple things? But this is high school to teach you about life. That shit is crazy.
They want you in debt.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what keeps the shit moving.
Yeah.
Debt.
If we all knew
that's
what was going on, then
And
it would be, come on.
Debt and
The
medicine.
country's in debt that we have to pay back. We didn't make
Trillions.
none of those decisions. You wanted to go over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we owe so much money.
What the fuck?
No, man, we didn't ask, hey, let me go over there. No,
Yeah.
no,
Stop
you
trying to
wanted
collect my debt to pay your shit that I had nothing to do with.
it. Facts.
Oh,
But-
God in heaven. But they should, though. I mean, we all should have that shit in high school, man. I want that shit for my kids. You feel me? Like, God damn. But, but it is a parent's obligation. You know what I'm saying? You have to do that.
But
as a
imagine
kid.
even to go to like college and universities, to get a business degree, you have to pay to get a business degree. So ain't shit free. So in high school, a teacher's not gonna sit there and do it for $25 an hour.
You have to pay for everything.
No, that's what I'm
It's
saying,
the
though.
joke.
And on top of that, the teacher, though, the one that's supposed to teach you that type of shit, is on a W-2. So the taxes are taken out already. She or he is not privy to what we all have to go through in the tax world. So it's not like she could even be like, hey, I know we're trying to solve for X and long division right now, but let me tell y'all about a 1099. She's on W-2. Tax taken out. She can't wait for tax time. She may get a refund check.
Damn. So you don't even tell me about a 1099, but
She doesn't know about it. He doesn't know about it.
Well, maybe.
I didn't even know what a net 30 or a net 90 was until I started.
Until
kicking
now.
it. I started fucking with Red Bull. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh, I
nigga
come from
told
the
me.
music.
wait,
I
so
come from the music business. I know net 90.
Yeah,
Net
the life I
90 is
lived.
crazy.
Net
but I
30,
heard
net
there's-
60.
Yeah, but I heard there's more than net 90s.
man, I heard. Well, when
Yeah,
once-
there's
when-
people that getting paid in like, so they're not getting paid till the next year, especially music labels.
For real?
They take
Yeah.
the longest to pay.
But it's a
for
bigger
sure.
check, though.
Yeah, it's a bigger
Yeah, it's a bigger
Way
check, but
bigger check.
still, motherfucker, I gotta pay my rent.
Yeah, nigga told me net 90, I almost passed out. I'm like, nigga, cause it's all my bread. This is all me. This is what I love. I can't do net 90, please. I'm telling the nigga I gotta get paid. You know what I'm saying? I'm
And
getting
then the worst part, is you have to go through all these portfolios and like keep sending this, fill this out. Oh wait, we got a new accountant now. You gotta
Yep.
send. And I'm like, fuck, fool, fuck your artist. Send me my money.
Right.
We
bitch.
have a new portal you have to log
Yeah,
into.
that is the craziest
Hey,
thing ever.
that's why I like Build.com. If you use that
Are you getting paid
motherfucker.
for an ad right now?
No, I'm just not. It did sound like an ad.
It's called venting.
It did. It sound like an ad right now.
He backdooring us. He backdooring us.
I'm sorry. That did kind of sound a little. You're right. Well, I use a service. A great service, by the way.
But
Yo,
yeah,
my-
man, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We happy to have you here. Where's your partner at, man?
Maul is home, but Maul will be in LA, I think, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, to come for the album release. But
We
yeah.
coming.
Oh, you guys have to come.
Yeah, we coming.
Yeah,
But like,
motherfucker, I came out
what
here.
you mean by like we? Like,
Oh,
like
we
is it a
ain't
plus
invited.
20? No. Yeah, everyone here is invited.
Oh, we got invited.
I'm a New Yorker. I'm just getting to know a lot of LA people. So when a New Yorker says, "Yo, we all coming," I need to prepare
Oh.
myself for like pause.
Dog, there you go. We kind of. I thought we were doing good so far.
There's pause in New York too.
And like LA culture, like y'all move, for lack of a better term, in gangs. Like it's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, these.
So you stereotyping us, huh?
I'm stereotyping the amount of people, not what everyone's repping. Just the amount of people.
Well, he's wearing orange today.
I mean, but if
Because
you
in
were
New York,
fully-
when someone says, "Yo, we all coming," I know it's gonna be plus 30 out there.
Now we usually just move.
No, it's just us.
and the
Like,
team.
you know,
Oh no, everyone here
that
is
is a
more than
stereotype.
welcome.
four
of
or
course.
5 people.
Bring a girl plus two
yeah.
each. That's fine. But
not 30.
hell no.
But if you were like worried about the gang culture, I mean, you would have been fully aware not to come over here by yourself and park in the front.
With
and come in
essential.
the gang.
No,
I'm
hablo
like,
inglés.
I said,
I have no idea in that gang culture. I meant gang in the definition of a large group of people.
Yes.
but still, I'm still worried about you though. I still worried about you. I said, damn, what is he at the gate for? I'm like, come on, hurry up, get in there.
It's crazy because in LA, there's really like, even though like the Valley or Burbank, there's really no safe space unless you move like 40 minutes away.
There's places that are safer than usual, though.
Yes.
Yo, Mike just went out, bitch.
Did it? Damn, y'all don't fuck with me.
Put it in there, man. Pause.
Whoa.
Oh, so this.
No, are you kind of like
My
weary when you moving around LA and stuff?
Yeah, of course. I'm wary when I move around everywhere.
Because I've seen you in highlight room before, and you chilling.
Yeah,
But that's a different environment. Though.
My check.
I was-
There we go.
Well, I don't know. We recording.
Motherfucker, yeah, no, we are. We live, motherfucker. We don't stop this shit.
Yeah.
Whatever happened.
No, I was raised to be weary. I'm a weary, fucking anxious human being. So no matter where I'm at, I move that way. But in LA, especially because I'm not from here.
But what made you that way, though?
My pops is that way. My pops is very, very cautious. He's not anxious like my pussy ass. My dad's not that at all. But he is certainly the more cautious human being, and definitely taught me that at a young age. I've had my head on a swivel before my neck could even like stay up as a baby. Like my pops definitely trained me in that regard.
And that's
So,
a great way of showing your kid that because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you didn't grow up like a privileged white man.
no, we're still pretty privileged. It was all right. Like, no, it was fine.
you know what that tell me? Pops is watching out for the IRS.
Right.
He like, keep your head on the swivel for the men in coats to come over here.
no.
They're gonna take daddy away.
We were in Charlottesville.
Yeah, because I seen a picture of your pops. I know your grandfather.
Yeah,
he had like a vintage Mercedes Benz. I said,
Yeah.
yeah, them niggas had some chili back there.
Hey, how does it feel when you like? Obviously, the world was in a different place at the moment around Durk time, even around your time. But when you told them like, "Hey, I want to get into this music hip hop space," what was their first take like?
Oh, I mean, Irish people are very weird. If you don't get a fucking job at a union or like the telephone company, they're confused by
Yeah, they're
anything.
like Mexicans.
So it's not like the hip hop world was strange to them. Any world would have been strange to them.
No, I feel that, but like when I try to explain to my mom that I have a podcast with 3 black men, she's like, "How does that work?" It's not that she doesn't know any better. You feel me? No. Am I
Didn't put
lying?
the period at the end of podcast either.
In my line, I'm like, I just like I try to break down a certain situation. She's like, "Oh, okay." She's just clueless. It's not that she's sitting there like my son's with 3 black men. She's sitting there like she's asking questions about things that she doesn't know. So I'm assuming that's kind of the question you were
Well,
getting.
it is
from me.
newer though.
Yeah,
So
yes and no, because Irish culture, like, we can't stay in our house. 17, 18, you out. Like,
Yeah, you guys are
I have a
alcoholics.
very loving mother, and I know it hurt her heart, but that's our code. Like, get the fuck out and go do something with your life. So as long as bills were paid, and then eventually got to a point where I could take on hers, the questions got lighter. Like, as long as I was happy,
I get you.
and bills were paid, she didn't give a fuck.
That's
she was
fine.
still can't explain it to her friends to this day. But you know, he just does. He talks or something. I don't know. He's doing fine.
That's fine.
well,
That's dope though.
let me ask you this: how did you become a marketing manager for Sony?
I mean, I'd already been at labels prior to that. I was at Def Jam for a while, and in between, I was working with Kevin Lyles, another company by any means that was a subsidiary. I'm bad with words. I can't even spell Wednesday, but
We can't either. It's all right.
which I was in the music business for a while before. The Sony shit was probably the last label gig I had, I want to say. And that was for a very, very short time. That was actually to tie over, I think, until we got that Spotify deal. Because, I mean, I had bills and shit.
So was that the goal? Because I know, like, we fell into podcasting, and you know, I don't think everybody was like, I want to be a podcaster. So it was like, you wanted to be a music exec, or what was it?
Yeah, everything landed on music. Like, my barber in college was interning at Def Jam, and I didn't even know you could do that. Like that shit was wild to me that you could intern at a record label that I'd known about my whole life. So once I realized that could be like a career for real, because I thought you had to be a rapper or manage a rapper, and I was trying to do that too, even in college. Like all the ways I thought you could get in, I didn't know there was this whole other world. I didn't know you could direct music videos if you weren't Hype Williams. Like once I realized there was a whole nother space to go to, I gravitated towards that. And that kind of led to podcasting, because podcasting was the new forefront for hip hop. And I happened to be there super early in it. And even shout out to like Juan Epstein and Pete and Cypher Sounds. Like once I saw that and how it could connect, I was like,
Well,
oh, bet. This is the next wave.
Yeah, what was the musical roots before that though? Were there any?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I grew up in the super musical household. Like my dad, very much 70s rock, but then really into Motown, really into blues. My mom, which is probably why I'm one of the few people that's like a nerdy underground rap fan, but I love pop music. My mom was like Cyndi Lauper, like all pop shit. Rest in peace to Tina Turner. Like
today,
pop was such a huge aspect to my mom, and then like dirty blues records and like really early 70s rock shit was my dad, and that was the two worlds I was living in. So
Do you think that shit gave you an upper hand when it came to working with artists, when you were able to give them knowledge on or like see music in a different aspect? Because when people think of a white man in the music industry, it's like he's either the owner or just a manager that has connections, right? But you're able to sit there and really break down music and see different aspect when it comes to your marketing and stuff like that.
no, not at all. And I used to think that people skills is the only upper hand you could ever have with working with artists.
Shit.
You could be a fucking genius. You could throw Pharrell with an artist, and if there's not a personal relationship, only so much is really going to come out of it. How to deal with artists is on a personal level, and sometimes you need to immediately see that we are not going to work as people, even if we work in the studio well. Not much is going to come out of this. It's a people thing. You could be a genius in every single aspect. It's a personal level when it comes to dealing with artists, and it'll never change that way. And artists are the craziest people on earth.
They're brats.
But for a reason.
Yeah.
They make the greatest shit. And not to say they're entitled to that, but that's another part of the spectrum and part of the brain that comes with it. Like, you clearly see that not just with music. Artists in general, talented people are fucking nuts. You see in the tech world right now. Right. Elon Musk might actually be an alien. Like, these people are not on the same spectrum as us, and that's why they're so great at what they do. So if you can't manage the personal level, you won't get the best out of them, even if you are the best piano player on earth. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
But a lot of people always ask me, why you not an A&R? Why you not an A&R? You know so many people. You have so many relationships. And I've been in this shit so long, or you know what I'm saying, and I've seen so much, and I'm like, nah, because you have to deal with this artist really on a personal level, and I don't got time to be babying no bitch ass nigga. I ain't got time to be babying no artist and seeing what's going on to see if you the next thing or to see if you the greatest thing, because some of you niggas ain't. Well, you might think that, but I don't think a lot of these artists aren't that. You feel me? So, and you got to go through that building stage too. And I didn't want to go through that building stage and trying to see if an artist is great or is he going to come out of that? You know what I'm saying? Is the light going to shine on him? Like, fuck no. Like, I seen a lot of that shit from the beginning. I'm like, I can't do that shit. Like, this ain't my dream. I know I can, but I was like, nah, because that shit takes a lot of energy out of you. It takes a lot of energy out of you.
But good A&Rs are managers now. I can't.
It is.
So like you say you're 33, right? So growing up, you listen to rap and all the whole stuff.
Of course.
Was that your dream to get in the industry as a rapper, or get in the industry as far as like I want to produce, I want to do
Like
this?
behind the scenes.
Yeah, like,
Oh no, I tried to rap when I was young. I don't really trust anybody that didn't try to rap.
Right.
Like, if nobody tried to rap, like, I kind of look at you funny. Like, you ain't try.
Right.
I tried. I was awful at it.
Okay.
What was
I
your
know
rap
I'm a
name?
great. No, I didn't even get that far. But my homie Alex, if we could make his fucking Tower Dell computer from 2005 work, I have records that I rapped on for sure.
I know you remember him.
No, I don't.
He lying.
No.
He know he got some bars. Everybody got it.
I would say the same thing to me, but if you listen to my show, I rap on my show. Like, I come up with bars on our show just for the fuck of it. I would play that in a heartbeat. It would be embarrassing, but I stand by it. And I think I was all right. But there were so many people around me that were so much better that I was like, this isn't for me. I can contribute in other places. But to answer your question, no, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted. I wasn't even going to go to college until I randomly got a track scholarship. Like, I was never planning on going to college to even know that you could intern at Def Jam. Like,
Right.
I just loved music. I wish I had this plan where since I was a kid, I wanted to do, I didn't have that. I just knew what I loved and gravitated towards that type of shit. But,
Okay.
Fucking, like you managing and now kind of being managed because you're like the star now. You're like the face of something. You're definitely one of the stars, fool. Stop being humble. You feel me? And then like, what's something that you take on that you're like, damn, I wish a certain artist worked with me like this when I was trying to manage them or help their career and stuff like that. What are like some like self-taught lessons that you learned throughout your career?
Oh, I mean, to your question is not to take shit personal.
Okay.
Because now when roles are reversed, I do see things that I did take personal that I've seen other people look at me like, why would you not gonna fuck with me? And it's like, no, it's not personal. I just got other shit going on. I can't now dedicate my life to your life. Like, I used to take that like, yo, fuck this dude. But when you're on the other side, you do see that why would I think someone else would stop their life to help my dream when they're not even really involved with it to begin with?
I mean, we kind of
but that's a growth thing, I think, just as humans that you have to get to. But I was definitely one of those people young, even when I was in the Def Jam office. Listen, when they let me in that building, I was running amok. Like, I came up under Shaw Money too, so I was kind of allowed to run amok. But there was execs that I tried to barge in on certain shit or like get involved in stuff. And they looked at me like, yo, get the fuck away from me. And I'm like, oh, they're hating. And I was so wrong about that. Like, no, they have their own life going on. You're just some fucking 19-year-old idiot that doesn't know shit yet. Like, get away from me. And that's a lesson in itself. Like, once you get to that other side, people aren't going to stop their lives to make yours better.
It's true.
I mean, we learning that right now, and I feel like we got a lot in common. Like from where you were at now to where you're now. I mean, where you were to where you're at now. Like, and that's kind of like what we went through too. Like, you feel me? Like, and we on the building stages. You feel me? Like, so we can't stop for other motherfuckers right now. We really got to do this shit ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, going through this shit. Like, but give us some advice to about being on a bigger stage with on that platform, being with an artist, you feel me, that's obviously, way more well known than you guys, and then you guys breaking away from that, and then obviously when you break away from that, it's all good until it starts withering down. Then motherfuckers start saying, okay, you guys are falling off, or you're doing this and you're doing that, like, like, of course, like how you deal with that?
You have to focus on the logic and the reality of it, not the internet of it. You guys just started a brand new thing, and it was something that you helped build over at No Jumper. You guys had your whole shit, but this is a whole new entity. You can't treat it the same way you treated what was at No Jumper. It's a way different platform. It's a bigger platform. Of course, they lost subscribers when you guys left, but still, this is a brand new thing, and you have to stick to that exact same plan. You're back at year zero. And that was, and I see the comments even with me and Maul with numbers and all that shit. Yeah, of course, the first episode that Maul and I did after the breakup has fucking 1 million views. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
I definitely paid the Patreon.
And did they drop? Did they drop? Of course they did. Because this is a brand new show. We're definitely taking an audience from the old one that we helped build for sure. But this is a brand new entity. And we're still on the path of that. We're on not even year 2. Why the fuck would I care about views plummeting from when there was a gossipy breakup?
Yeah.
Of course those views are going to be crazy. I'm so happy with our views and what we're building here. I'm not on the plan of the 7-year plan that we started the Joe shit with. I'm back at 0. So our views now for how long we've been rocking are great. I love what we've been doing content-wise. Do I think we can make improvements? Of course. Do I think we'll change shit? Of course. Do I think there may be other mics, other sets, other content? For sure. But we are on year 1.5. Damn. I'm not on year 9 the way the Joe Budden Podcast is. Like, I don't understand why that's so weird for the internet to understand. Of course views are going to plummet. And I know y'all are probably going through the same thing. It's a whole new show. It's not the No Jumper shit. It's y'all shit. it's not going to be the same.
Here it comes. Go ahead.
No, we're not going through that. We actually are, you know what I'm saying, exceeded what's going on. But I know I really love it. But how do you feel about, you know, Joe still taking
y'all are doing
shots?
fine. I'm saying as far as the internet saying, like, you don't need that, like, oh, look what the fuck happened. Of course, I know.
Oh, yeah. But how do you still feel about, you know, Joe still taking, like, low shots at y'all? Like, is it like a fun thing for you guys, or do you guys feel like,
it's not,
you know what?
It's not
I
fun.
don't like that shit.
It's not fun to me anymore.
It's not fun.
I made that very clear.
Yeah.
Like, I went on and I know how crazy I looked the last time I spoke. I said, hey, stop talking about me. I'm done with this. And everyone, I know I look nuts. I reviewed it before it was posted. I knew I looked insane. And I saw everyone's like, yo, you look so fucking hurt. Yeah, that was the fucking point. And I have no problem looking hurt. I'm hurt. This is getting really fucking corny. Yeah. Like, aren't y'all sick of it? Like, this shit is corny.
I just did the same thing you did. People say you emotional, sending warnings and shit.
I mean,
it's the internet though. But what's wrong with being emotional? I had from what I thought, an extremely close relationship with somebody that wasn't based off a podcast we happened to do one. We were very, very close as friends. Fucking, he was hanging with my mom in fucking St. Albans, Queens, with Ace of Spades bottles, like, in the backyard, like that type of relationship. Damn. This isn't funny to me anymore. Like, I'm sorry that I ruined all of Reddit's dreams of this back and forth, and that I allow a million lies to be told and I don't reply to shit. I'm sorry I'm that person. This shit's not funny to me. Maybe I'm not. I saw people, you're not built for this content game. We're talking. Like, shut up. I'm just not doing back and forth with people I care about like that. Like, that shit's just not for me.
But when you...
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not built to argue with people I once really cared for everyone else's entertainment. I'm sorry I'm not built for that.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But
I participated in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being a hypocrite. I did. But I shut the fuck up for quite some time. And then I very hurtfully went on a camera and looked like an idiot and said, leave me alone, like I was a fucking woman.
Like, but was it affecting you then too? Because when you brought up the list, you know what I'm saying, were you affected
I said he deserved to be on it. That's what I said.
Yeah, but...
You go back. It was recorded.
Yeah, but you're human though. And I feel like the more we record and the more people see us on camera, you're going to see faults out of everybody.
100%.
Nobody's perfect.
Of course.
And sometimes we're going to get emotional. Sometimes we're going to say shit people like. Sometimes we not.
Shit we don't mean. Everything. I agree.
100%. Because I feel like
it's past that is what I'm saying. That I agree with. But this is far past that.
And I feel like out of everybody, like, AD probably had the most closest relationship with Adam. Mm-hmm. So I think even when we left, like, I kind of like just eased myself out of the way. You know, I'm with my brothers, like, I'm gonna do my thing. You feel me? But I think out of everybody, when he was screaming in the camera and looking to the side and looked like he was tearing up, I was like, I feel it. I was just homie, fool. You know what I'm saying? But I think even this situation when I'm going with Brown Bag and shit, like, people think that shit over with. It just share this shit behind the scenes, and it does hurt when you build something and you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? We trying to figure it out, but it's definitely a growing process, though.
But that's also what he was saying,
yeah,
too.
No, 100%.
You move off of, you know, and some people may say it's a fault. You move off of friendship, and that makes you ignore the business sometimes. Because, you know, we generally care for each other and shit, too. And, you know what I mean? Sometimes we don't look at it like, okay, we got to go get this done, or we doing this, or we doing that. It's like, you my homeboy, right or wrong, I'm going to rock with you. And then, you know, some people may not look at you the same exact way. So that does hurt.
And even like, it's certain like lies or, you know, fabrications or even embellishing for podcast purposes, which I'm fine with. I have no issue with that. Even after my fake hurt rant for like 30 seconds, I'm in the Reddit streets. So I see clips that people put up. I just seen dude make up some whole shit about me going to see his son being born as a negotiation tactic when the timeline doesn't even add up and there was no negotiation within 2 years of that time.
Damn, y'all
and then even bringing up that I brought that up in a negotiation, like that's the type of shit where I said I was going to stop talking about it, but he kept talking and he could have kept talking. But when you like lie about number shit, lie about conversation, don't lie about
personal shit.
Yeah, like that I brought up that I brought your son up in a negotiation. I went to your son. Like, it's like shit that I can't believe that even his own fans would believe some absolute bullshit like that and even know the timeline that doesn't even add up. it's like that type of shit is what hurts me. And I wasn't even planning on going on this rant, and it could be a little juice in here, but I'm saying that's the type of shit that, to answer the actual question though, that's the type of shit that bothers me. You could lie about everything else. I don't care. I've been shutting up. Don't double back and just make up lies about personal shit that's really about my character and how I treated you and your family. That's where I can't fuck with you on that.
This Reddit
that's
shit
where I'm
crazy, dog. Reddit is fucking y'all life up.
No, it's not. It's not Reddit. It's not Reddit. I saw the clip though on Reddit. Like it exists.
Yeah, like,
That's why I didn't watch the episode. I saw the clip
That's
of
where you're
him
getting the
saying
information
that
from.
I went to see his son be born for a negotiation tactic, which was a 2-year fucking gap in between. Spotify didn't exist. I'm not that intelligent. I didn't have the wherewithal to go, he's having a kid. Maybe in 2 years, maybe we'll get a deal from a company that's not even working on podcasts yet.
Oh
and
my God.
Then I'll bring that up in negotiations, which I did not ever bring up in a negotiation with him. Hey, I went to your son's birth, so give me more money. So when you talk about that type of shit, that's what pisses me the fuck off. And I've been dead quiet because I've been very vocal that this shit has been very painful to me. So that's where all these fans, everyone can talk. I've shut up because I said this shit was painful.
But have you ever been on a pod with Ma and ever said some shit that made him sound like an evil ass person, like how he made you sound during that clip? Have you ever said something like, I don't know, whatever, like similar status or caliber to him using or saying that, or if it's true or not, about his son being born and you using that 2 years later to negotiate money deals about Spotify?
Have Maul and I said anything in that regard?
Yeah.
No.
Never.
Maul and I replied to his empty chair rant with the absolute truth, an objective truth, one that could be backed up by absolute facts with witnesses, everything. That shit could be Vlad could do a whole series on everything with the evidence I have of what we said on that video, which is why I've shut the fuck up about it. Maul and I's story has not changed. Has there been comments made? Of course. Has there been little shots? Maul said a lot of stuff too, but Maul is also entitled to say every last fucking thing Maul is saying.
But that should reflect on both of y'all.
Well,
Cool,
people
which is
don't
fine.
know
No,
the behind the scenes. So people just see things in surface level and they make their opinions about it.
For sure.
And, and they see usually the person who gets emotional is the person that loses. But let me ask you this though. Do you feel like it kind of...
But this will also speak to Maul's comments. Because what you're saying is, yes, a lot of people would say, yo, Maul's been making a lot of comments as well. You next to him, right?
I'm just saying from what I see.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And Maul is entitled and right about everything that he is saying.
Yeah.
Now, if you noticed, I said the hurt rant will leave me alone. Joe had went off on me after Maul called him a cat burglar on that list shit. Why did he reply to me when I didn't say anything?
And that was the thing I was finna get
so
to.
he's
Can we use logic? Hold on. That's the thing. Can we use logic?
Honestly, probably because you was closer to him.
But no, hold on. That too, but
I don't know that to be the truth because Maul has lived with Joe for years. Everyone has their own relationships.
Personal relationship.
And also, this sounds really, I know we're not allowed to use this word. This sounds mad gay. Whose relationship is
No, but that plays a big part.
But that's why... That's what pissed me off the most when Maul made that comment. As Maul is allowed to make that comment, the comment is fine. I didn't say shit. Why did you only reply to me?
You the Irish nigga with the goldish red beard. That's
Okay, hold on.
No.
And then my mic turned off.
And then afterwards, why did you continue to talk about me?
You know what? But
So you guys can all make your conclusions.
So you feel like you're the target then?
Or does that validate Maul's comments even more? Because you ignored what Maul fucking said, and then you went after me. And then after that, made up some fucking lies about a negotiation with your son, you fucking piece of shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get
Thank you for the views.
I've been holding this back for a while.
No. I'm glad you're
I said I've been hurt.
Loved ones.
Everyone that's commenting, he looks so hurt.
Okay,
no
look.
one clicks unless it's Joe. You guys are right. I'm hurt.
So
Go ahead.
So let me ask you this then.
Yo,
Because
album.
I know, we're gonna get to that.
Out on Friday.
We gonna get to
Joe,
that.
this is how you do a press run.
whoa!
Hey,
The press run is here. But he
So-
said he didn't need to do press run.
Hold
I
up.
don't know. Okay.
So speaking of
And he
press
also
runs,
tried to explain what a press run was to me. He said, I don't have a product. No, your product was your reputation. And you went around everywhere.
right now.
And
Yeah,
Drake.
hold on. I don't even want to do this with you.
No, it's
Everyone
good.
else
You
I
the
did
homie.
with,
You the
I
homie.
did not say a word about anything.
No,
It's because you like us. You feel comfortable.
Yeah, you comfortable.
It's cool, man.
But let me ask you though, because you're talking about press runs. Why did you feel the need to say that you have a child now during the album release?
Why not?
So you're looking for every opportunity because then
No,
too.
Matt.
No, I'm listen. Going back to what you were saying earlier, kind of about the negotiations thing too. I read that you proposed at the Roc Nation brunch too. So
I on the grounds, yes.
on the ground.
It wasn't at the party.
But you know what?
Oh, it wasn't at the party.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
That
but
was
listen.
that was such a.
Look at T-Rell.
He proposed at the Roc Nation brunch.
Oh, listen, I was trying to do my research
Go
and stuff
ahead.
too. So, you know, kind of looking, I'm
no,
like,
it's
okay.
fine. We can listen. I don't reply to shit, and I let narratives go. The more laugh at it. I don't give a fuck. I thought Charlamagne and Schultz went crazy on it. I thought it was hilarious. There was so many people that shit. Even when Act talked about it, I thought it was hilarious. I think anytime, like when you know shit is not true, it's so fun to laugh. I like to laugh at myself. That shit was hilarious when everyone killed me for that Roc Nation. I didn't propose at the Roc Nation brunch.
Was you invited back since then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because my thing. This is how I look at it. Right? It's like the biggest thing. One of the biggest things in the industry happening. Let me propose to my wife right now. It sounds crazy, but
I'm going. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know if you're exactly hiding your baby, but like announcing that you have a kid and then doing the thing, I think is
Well,
different.
it's separate. That
Yeah.
me and that woman are not together. It has nothing to
Yeah,
do with the
no.
Roc Nation brunch
100%. No.
or academics. Just
No.
it ended the way relationships end.
I'm talking about the baby and the album thing. I think when something's used maliciously and used on a good thing, like you put a dope thing together, right? A dope project, and you feel like it was the right time. But I think when you're trying to push a narrative that a man used your own child, blood and flesh, to try to target and negotiate and use money against you, I think it's two different things. So I get what you're saying.
Drastically different. And the fact that
Yeah.
that even popped up in his brain makes me think that's
Who,
something
AD's
he
or
would
Joe
do.
Budden's?
No, Joe
Oh,
Budden.
Joe's, okay.
The fact that you even thought that popped up in your brain makes me think that's something you would do. Because how would that even pop up in your brain? But either or, to your question, the album title, and not to be like super corny, but it's called I Thought It'd Be Different. The process of making this album, even down to the Roc Nation brunch proposal shit y'all talking about, like so much happened in the process of my life that, yeah, this felt like part of not so much a rollout, but my life is in this album. It was called a whole different title before this. I Thought It'd Be Different is really the representation of everything that happened within that. And I have another clip that's going to come out tomorrow that has nothing to do with the kid from that same setup where I talked about the kid. Of course, that's the biggest, more salacious one that's a little funnier. But that was part of this album. I thought this would be different. Everything, including the child. And on top of that, we talk about Reddit and everything from the Roc Nation brunch. I'm nobody, and I don't mean that in a way of downplaying myself, but the fact that people have invested themselves in my personal life so much did not make me feel like I should post a sonogram to y'all when I fucking found out. I wanted to really get to know my kid, get to know how to be a father. Like, that shit is tough in the most beautiful way ever. So to think about how I'm going to talk about it on a podcast when I'm not and never have been the person that puts my life out like that. I don't podcast that way. I should get better at that, but I don't bare my soul like that to the world. Some things I like to keep secret. She's past 3 months now. I have the album coming out.
Congratulations.
I did a whole one-man pod live shit where I bared my soul about what you just brought up with the brunch shit, the kid, everything. The pod, like, it wasn't just that. That was just the first one y'all have seen. And also, I think it's hilarious to start a rollout with saying I was hiding a child.
Yo, you was on your Drake shit.
You know what?
I also think it's hilarious.
I was gonna say March
Also, my
14th.
my child doesn't pay bills.
Hold on,
She has to pull her weight in this family. If she's gonna bring attention to my album, she's like,
Bro,
sorry,
Oh my
you part of the family now.
great. But
She's part of the family.
he just said crazy. Hold on, but I really love y'all though. I mean, because well, you know, how my attention, you know, grew. I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say. But look,
Bad.
how I was, you know, how I got to know you guys was from the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So how I got to know you guys was from the Joe Budden podcast, and then when you guys left, you know, I was more gravitated to go, you know, with you guys because I felt like, you know, you guys had more in common with me, you know what I'm saying, than what I was doing. You guys were speaking more of, you know what I'm saying, my language or whatever the case may be. But then you guys were getting into it with Akademiks, and it kind of made me still like key in really on who you guys were, what you represented, what you was doing, and all of that shit. But I felt like, you know, around that time, like, you guys were just fighting Joe Budden's, Akademiks, and all of that shit. Like, how the fuck you guys? You know what I'm saying? I feel like on the internet.
To a certain degree.
On the internet, you guys were fighting like...
With Joe or with Akademiks?
Well, you gotta respond to certain shit.
Yeah, because you gotta respond to the negativity that was thrown at you guys.
With Akademiks.
You know what I'm
Bermuda
saying?
Triangle.
Yeah, he was calling you guys all type of shit, all
Of
type
course,
of names,
it was hilarious.
I mean,
Well,
so
actually,
you guys,
he's gonna be an enemy for life. Who?
Damn, I mean, that shit was crazy. Like, did you actually do that to Akademiks? What he's accusing you of doing? Did you actually do that?
No,
like,
I was just. And by the way,
That will be snitching though.
I mean,
no,
not if he
I
actually
didn't
say that.
I didn't, but also, I was just with Bootleg Kev, and I know it's a live stream, so that'll come out later. But I feel for dude, and this is not. I know people are gonna think this is some shots or some like satire, sarcasm. Am I wrong? Did two people try to break into his house with guns?
Yeah.
I feel for dude, and I'm very happy he's okay, because that shit is not funny. And I know when we were gonna do this whole press shit that would come up. I'm dead ass happy that nothing happened with that situation. I have no ill feelings towards him. I think everything he said is hilarious. Have a blast. Tell the stories. I'm so happy you're alive, because that could have went really fucking bad. And I know you're smiling, but I'm dead ass. I'm really dead ass. I know this may not come across sincere. When I read that shit and saw one of the clips of some girl unlocking the fucking shit, that's crazy.
I'm happy that you're happy. Yeah, I'm happy that you're happy.
Oh, you didn't want him. Oh, did y'all have beef? I don't know.
No. I'll fuck with Akademiks,
Yeah,
but I'm just happy that you know what I'm saying, that beef didn't really like curve or do anything or bother you guys in any certain type of way, because a lot of people will, like Reddit will like deter you from doing like different things in your life and get you in that fucking hole. Like, you'll be sunken. Like, and then you can't get out of it because of all the negativity that's drawn your way. Like, so and it was a lot drawn your way, you know, specifically just you. They love picking on you.
Picking on me is a hilarious thing because it's the internet.
Yeah.
Well, you did say stop. Leave me alone.
Joe.
He's talking to Joe.
Leave me alone, Joe.
Be very particular. That was just to Joe and Joe only.
R. Kelly. I can't take it. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life. Everybody got done.
You definitely didn't do that.
Oh my God.
And third, Gail King. Gail, leave me alone.
I'm sick of this shit.
Hey,
But no, to put it this way, when Act did the stream about the side chick thing,
Yeah.
me and my girl at the time tuned in and could not stop laughing together in the kitchen. It was the funniest thing we had ever fucking seen.
I've been sweating.
Well, it wasn't true. So that's why we were literally like both with tears in our eyes laughing. Not even at the content of how well he sold it. He's a fucking great entertainer.
okay,
That's fine. Get your lies up. The only person I said leave me alone was Joe, because Joe and I live in the real world together. Everyone else have a blast telling whatever the fuck y'all want to tell. I think I'm not replying just so it makes that narrative true.
how much do you respect the craft, even though you know it's not true? How much do you respect his craft and his streams and him going crazy and just not towards you, but towards a lot of the wild shit that he does do, which I think it's funny. To me, it's more entertainment. Do you respect the craft?
I can
Like the 6ix9ine
respect. I can respect the craft of entertainment and delivery. I don't know if the content, taking myself out of it, I don't care about what he says about me. I think it can be very dangerous to a lot of other people, to be quite honest. I think that can put a lot of other streamers that live in the real world in a very dangerous place. I think setting the tone that way of him being up here, which is fine. He's up here. There's gonna be a bunch of little kids under here on their way up that are gonna think you can yell in a camera that way, but you're way more accessible. So I think it's a culture and genre within live streaming that is very fucking dangerous. And I think we've already seen some aspects of it in the gang world, but in the, gang meaning a lot of people. But in the streaming world coming up, because, Ak is older now. So he started a wave. There's going to be kids in their 20s that are going to start this, and watched him navigate through all that. And he navigated through it safely if we're talking about his physical shit. That's why I was actually happy that nothing happened to him with that whole home invasion shit. There's going to be some kids that aren't going to navigate it the same fucking way because they don't have the same amount of money. And it's such a regular thing to pull your phone out and start talking crazy.
I mean,
like, you're going to be seen.
But that you could say the same thing for any industry, because there's a lot of young rappers out here who don't have the comfortability to be able to move around and travel, and they out there dissing ops and doing all type of shit. So, I mean, I feel you on that aspect.
But a lot of them come or may not come from that. All right, the drill rap shit, that was just an extension of that world. That's that world with Wi-Fi. The world of just streaming and you're just some kid in your fucking basement and you can walk outside and after you get 1 million views, your face is going to be notable to certain people. And you may move around LAX and think shit is fine, but someone's going to see you and someone might follow you.
I was gonna say,
it's a little different than the drill rap scene used in the live stream shit. It's a little different.
I want to ask you a question. Like, since you left Joe Budden's, right? Like, moving on in life, is it any type of way y'all ever can repair this and like not like do business, but just be cool as far as like human beings?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I'm also someone that hates to say that because who knows what's gonna happen with life, but I also don't want to say that because that's not in my mind at all. Right. To me, it's no, and it's gonna stay that way, especially as of recent. Okay. Like after I say, yo, leave me the fuck alone, because I thought we was on some time of just you move, I move, everything's cool, we don't have an issue. But then when you just made up that shit about the negotiation shit with your kid, now I could never see that shit happening.
Okay.
Well, here is something that is happening. Delta Munchies, 100% legal cannabis shipped straight to your door. All vapes, edibles, and pre-rolls can be bought online and shipped nationwide. If you live in a state where weed is illegal and you still want to get high, this is perfect because you can get it straight to your door. Listen, if you want to take the edge off or just get high as fuck and eat more than DoKnow fat ass, click the link in the chat.
Is that what it really says?
Yes, it really does. And scan the QR
Delta
code.
Munchies, fuck you.
You can also head to Delta Munchies website and use our code FMW20 for 20% off your order. Link is in the chat and description. Tap in right now.
Right now.
Just go get him.
Go get it.
That was very well written.
I keep my pen by me.
Yeah, you know what?
You were right. I am cold over here.
Yeah,
you
I got my hand in my pocket and shit. I'm mad cold.
It's your heart right now. You just cold.
No, I should be hot.
Right now.
No, I should be sweating. I'm freezing.
Man, I hope you
especially-
motherfuckers get it together, man, because we don't want motherfuckers showing up to your doorstep, you feel me, and doing that shit like they showed up to Joe's doorstep a long time ago. Just go get him. You feel me? Had that slap. Like, that shit is crazy, like, out here, like.
That also was a very unfortunate situation that shouldn't have been on the internet, which both parties have said that shouldn't have been on the internet.
Oh, God.
Ransom and Joe has both said that was not correct.
That shit was crazy.
I wanted to ask you about, I'm younger, so I was looking you up. I want to ask you about Henny Palooza.
Yeah, man. That was a great...
That was a time.
Oh, but can you break that down for me? Because I only heard and, like, was, like, trying to see the YouTube shit, but there was, like, you know what I mean? Like, can you break that down? How crazy were the party? Because from what I've heard, Let the Invigor Chinese, they were like, they were just free Henny bitches, and it was a party.
No, I was the ones in LA.
You went to Henny Palooza in LA?
It was Henny Palooza, then it turned to Deuce Palooza.
Okay.
Shout out to my guy Adib, you feel me? Because he used to do it in LA and stuff like that. But it was the craziest shit ever. I think the first one they had was on the Avalon down here. And nigga, as soon as you even pull up, you see people passed out in front of the motherfucking venue.
That was my first time ever in LA.
At the Avalon?
I was 24.
How'd you sell that party?
Say that again?
Like how'd you sell the party to Hennessy?
No, we never sold it to Hennessy.
Not sell it. How'd you pitch it to them?
So Hennessy's owned by LVMH, and Henny Palooza was rocking for a few years, and we had gotten a lot of marketing people fired because we were marketing their product better than anyone else.
Wow.
And a lot of their marketing people refused to bring us into the LVMH building because it would just prove that they didn't know how to do their fucking job. And then I think we had one rep, Benner, correct me if I'm wrong, my manager Benner, who, big Palooza vibes over here.
Big Palooza vibes.
There was one rep that I think tried to bring us into the building, but Hennessy in itself is like a lot of brands. The same stories you've heard from Rockefeller as far as, we want a certain crowd buying our product, but we don't want to be in business with them. Was definitely that situation. And I'm not going to put that all in LVMH, but Hennessy, I have no issue saying that's exactly what they said.
It was a little reckless though, because DoKnow, you will pay to get in.
That's what I heard.
And it's unlimited Hennessy.
Okay.
The whole night.
Okay, but you could say it was reckless. It wasn't.
No, it was cultural.
It was
I loved
it was
Me
reckless
personally
in a
as drinker.
fun way. There was no fight. Imagine an open bar party.
No
Open bar
fights.
Hennessy. Todd Olive performed, I think, at that one. No fights. Women everywhere. People actually dancing. Like, it wasn't a fucking hold your phone up type of thing. It was a party. And we took that shit around the country. No incidents. No shit on the let out. There was nothing. And Hennessy was still like, nah, we don't want to be, affiliated with that. But we think it's great because it keeps us culturally relevant.
So what they said is in cases?
And you're buying the shit. So that's when Hov had stepped in and was like, well, let's make this Duce Palooza. Which made all the sense in the world. Because why the fuck are we gonna fuck with Hennessy? Like they don't.
And I heard y'all sold out the Madison
And then
Square
you get
Garden.
and then you get the Roc Nation brunch.
Proposal. You do that. Jay Z give you the lob and you
got
try
the
to take
whole
it away from
Then
it.
Jay Z,
We were business partners. What do you want from me?
Hennessy and Duce is connected.
No. Duce, Jay Z had
I know
switched to
Jay-Z got
Duce.
Duce.
So he's like, Hennessy don't want you. Come here with us. And we got you.
So we partnered with Duce and Roc Nation to then do Duce Palooza. We ended up selling out the Barclays Center as our last show.
Holy
Damn,
shit.
that's crazy.
Have you ever?
Duce last night?
Yeah. Hey,
Have you thought about bringing
Hey,
it back?
Hov, send some over here. We ain't gonna propose at your brunch, nigga.
Right.
hey, did you ever tell? Did you
he
ever
was part of the proposal. goddammit.
No, hold on. Did you ever?
He set it up. Holy shit! You need to shit on Hov, not me. He was the one that set it up.
Hey, no. How did you?
I can't talk about it because of NDAs, but god damn it, I wish I could. Jay set the engagement up.
All right. How did you? How did you talk about your
Shout out to
music?
Sam. I know she's gonna laugh at this as well. It was such a beautiful day.
I want to know have you ever talked about your music with Jay Z? Like, hey, yo, Jay, I do music, bro. Here go the shit.
No, I went further and said, yo, I'm trying to produce in your backyard.
Yeah. Like, how does that go? Like,
No, we at that point it was very much all Palooza stuff. So yeah, that was a whole separate operation. I wasn't blending those two things together. And you also need to know how to manage relationships in that regard. Like, we have a great thing going with Palooza. I'm not gonna say, yo, listen to my mixtape in between.
Right. That's wild.
Like, we just sold out Barclays.
That's wild.
No, niggas do that. They do that.
And then
Well, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah, and then everything go out the window.
Okay, so let me ask you. So I heard it took almost 5 to 6 years for you to put this album out?
Nah, 3.
3, okay.
Which 3 is a long time.
It's a long time.
But also, I take excuses from COVID, and I take excuses from the breakup of the pod. Because COVID got really tough in the early phases of starting that project. Then COVID hit, and it was it's a collaboration album. Like, I wasn't doing the email beats type of thing, so that got really tough at that time. Then the pod breakup happened, and like we were just talking about, starting at square one with something had to be my entire focus. I had to find a whole new staff that I trusted. Maul and I had to figure out what the creative direction was. Finding spaces, like, that shit is not, I can't just be in the studio till 4 a.m. every night. When mostly the musicians I worked with are in LA too. We were in New York. So that put a lot of pause on stuff as well, which I was happy about though. Because if I would have put out the project before all that, I would have hated it. Like, I'm happy. I don't get a James Fauntleroy feature if I put the album out before that.
Legend.
that Jay Electronica feature is crazy. I was riding to that shit, over here, and I was like, let me listen to the whole little, what he got going, because you haven't put out a lot of music. But you know, I had to key in on some shit. And I was like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like
I went to Mexico to get that.
You really surprised me though, because I thought it was gonna be trash. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, this shit probably gonna be trash, but let me listen. I'm like,
to be honest,
this is crazy.
That's the best compliment that I've gotten in like maybe a healthier way. People have said that, but
Nah, well, he from the ghetto.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I don't know.
I'm joking, but no, that's been my favorite thing is people that are like, yo, I was gonna check that shit out like because I fuck with you, but like I was really surprised that this shit is fire. That's been the best. That's surprised. The ultimate compliment I could get from this whole thing. Wow. Yeah, I was gonna check this shit out because I fuck with you, but I was expecting that shit to be bad. But this shit is hard.
Yeah, right. Then I go to the video and I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
bare minimum boys, bro.
You feel me? Like, like
you know, JLX features, James Fauntleroy videos. Yeah,
JLX.
We do the bare minimum over here.
I mean,
hey, I was gonna ask. You think people weren't? I mean, obviously, white people are respected in the rap game. I don't know. You guys answer that question.
You just said you didn't like Jack Harlow, so I don't know.
All right, so
when did I say that?
Wait, hold on. Since we speaking on Jack Harlow, he just brought that up. He got banned from a Jack Harlow concert.
I did, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, I was in a movie with him.
Why do white people be beefing like that when they rap?
Wait a minute, let me answer why he got. I don't understand. Let me answer why he got banned first from the concert.
Please,
I will, and I will answer that question though, because I know why white people beef, especially in rap. But Drama invited me to the Jack Harlow show at Barclays Center, and I'm on my way, and I get a call, and Drama's like, "Yeah, his manager said like you're banned. Like, are you already on the way?" I'm like, "Yeah." Should I do 2 stops on this Uber? Like, should I get out? And I guess there was some clip. You know, I like people do salacious clips. Like sometimes the title is not really what's said. And Benner, what was it? I said that Jack Harlow wasn't the greatest rapper of all time or something.
Okay.
I know this sounds crazy. That's really what it was. I just didn't think. Oh, lyricist of the year for that category at BT. I gave Jack Harlow a million compliments of his album, the music he makes. I just didn't think he was lyricist of the year. Didn't shit on him. Didn't say he wasn't a lyricist either. I just said I don't think he's lyricist of the year. Went through a bunch of other rappers and then hit Drama's on the phone, and Jack's manager takes the phone and is like, "We only want supporters in here." And I'm like, I have been nothing but a supporter of Jack Harlow. Check when he tweets me. Like, I fuck with Jack. I don't really care. Then Drama was like, "Yo, I'm gonna fix this." I said, "I'm not going there." She's like, "Yo, no, come, it's fine, it's cool." I'm not going where I'm not wanted. You're not about to have that and then have me in the green room like, "Good to see everyone."
Cancel Christmas.
And then when you get in there, you shake your head like, "Yeah, what up, nigga?"
Like, I'm not here. Like, I went my show, bitch. Granted, I fuck with Jack, but I'll be honest, I would never rush to a Barclay show of Jack Harlow. It's just not my
the beef
shit.
is going. The beef is continuing now.
No, it's not. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Are you a better artist?
Hey, hold on.
Are you a better artist?
Don't fall into it. Don't fall into it. It's what they're gonna do. Don't fall into it.
Are you a better artist than Jack Harlow? That's all I want to know.
I'm not, but
Hey, T-Rell, I see you in AD. T-Rell, I see you in AD going like this. I'm like, they're coming rolling. Leave him alone.
Wow.
But
this is not Whack 100's clubhouse. I'm not gonna fall victim to the loud talking.
He gonna talk about this too. White boy.
Hey.
I think Whack is hilarious.
Not until he call you a white Irish motherfucker.
Oh damn!
You know what I'm saying?
Not on Clubhouse. Oh shit! What am I gonna do? But yeah, I wasn't gonna go back to that show.
That's
after
crazy.
I was banned first.
Yeah,
I feel like that manager.
Person told me.
I feel like
I was like, "Yo, it's cool. Come back." I'm like, "No, I was not invited before. I'm cool."
That's out.
And okay, that's low-key some weak shit though.
Have you talked to him afterwards?
No, and I don't even know if Jack knows anything about that. That might have just been his manager seeing a clip and being a manager.
So why did you take it personal then? You should have went. If you knew that fucking Jack probably didn't even say that, you should be like, "Hey, bro, you said that, bro?"
Yeah, but what if he did?
You should have been like, "Hollered at him at his show. Fuck your show, bitch. You said that." Because I fuck with you.
No. On Paru, right?
Yeah.
We're not Parus.
I know.
We're not Parus. Shout out to them though.
It's a joke.
They go Paru, nigga, Jack Harlow, nigga. You said that? He gonna be like, "No, I didn't say that." All right, fuck it, I fuck with you.
All right, blood.
Hey, get out of there.
Big back over here.
Whack 100 managed me now, so.
Yeah, I mean that's why.
Hey, that's crazy,
I
though.
mean,
Answer your question on why-
rappers. Why do white rappers beef?
Okay, I'll show you
No,
exactly
white
why.
people in this hip hop industry,
White people
everybody
in
got
this
problems.
hip-hop industry.
It's not that we have to do it. It's that we try to out poverty each other, which I think is the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Oh, I see. Okay, can I?
So the Jack Harlow shit that just came out, maybe that is his alley that he grew up in. I don't fucking know. But you did the alley thing, which is cool. You may have grown up there. I don't care. I'm not gonna out poverty somebody.
With the basketball court.
Which was fine. Which was fine. I'm not saying that. MGK's response, which was fine too. I loved it.
Yeah.
You dating Megan Fox. You got infinity pools. Get out of your man's dirty backyard. Stop trying to out poverty each other of looking like you're in the dirtier place as a white person.
Okay.
So they want to be white trash.
Hold on.
That's what you're saying.
But
Go shoot that with Megan. If he does that freestyle with Megan Fox in the infinity pool, he wins. I don't care what he says.
But that's why. But do you think?
Why are you
to
in your
be
man's
fair-
backyard next to the bench press?
Okay, but do you think that's why do you think that's why everybody that's a white person in the podcast game that's do hip hop always has a black man or a Latino in their thing? Do you think it's the same thing?
We don't have like a group chat. I don't know everyone that's white in the.
I'm just saying from what you've seen. Like, do you feel like you would get the same type of energy and respect if Ma wasn't with you? Do you feel like?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because I think him questioning you about your album, the homie don't mean no harm. But I think if Ma came up here, I don't think he would have had the same question.
Yes, he would.
Yes,
No,
he-
no.
Well, I don't think it was a foul question.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying like it's a joking thing. But do you feel like in the industry it runs like that?
I think for the white people that try to lean on the street credential part, unfortunately, that could get into like some way deeper conversations on why white people would think they'd have to stand next to black people for that is the thing.
Yeah.
But no, I'm joking with the MGK and Jack Harlow shit.
I
But
know,
I
I get that.
have seen a lot of white people that feel they need to get their street cred from black people in neighborhoods they didn't grow up in, which I think is a little weird. But
And you never did that because you just like I've been well off and I've been I'm that I'm
I'm
white.
not a street. I'm a big
Yeah.
civilian.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 'cause we got
I'm white.
We got white
Did I
people
need
out
to
here.
not make that clear? Did that not come across with my ambiance? Like,
No, 'cause we got white people out here that gang bang.
no, I'm saying me. Fuck skin color. Do I not come across as someone that is a big civilian? I feel.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, there's plenty of white people that gangbang and they're really about that shit. My pops is a street guy, but I'm not.
When you're
Where
welling
daddy
down
from?
in hip hop, I don't know. When you're welling down in hip hop and you're really educated, you know what I'm saying, and you have your thing about hip hop. You might go Ja Morant, you know what I'm saying, and it'd be just super crazy because some music does that to people. You know what I mean? Like music really does that to people. So I don't know. Like
I think it did that more to this generation than your guys' generation.
You definitely dress nice, but I still don't know where you're at mentally.
Yeah. Don't come over here, loser.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
He must start shooting up the shit. I don't know what he
So you
is.
saying some NBA Youngboy come on?
He might go crazy.
He over there doing the gritty.
Yo, but not to get too deep between my generation and the new one with that same point. Like, yes, was I influenced by rap music in the 2000s? For sure. Did I briefly try to fucking sell weed and coke and realize this was not for me? Yes.
That's
These
definitely your guys'
new
thing.
kids, if you're influenced by the music, you're gonna get a face tat. You're gonna join a gang. Things you can't come back from. My little week of trying to sell weed and coke, I went out there and was like, "Oh, you're not. This is not for you. This is not for you."
White boy Rick.
Everything was fine in my life. Had I been that age now, I could have been jumped into a set, had a face tattoo where I could never get another job. Like, it's different the influence music can have now with these kids than when I was growing up. Because, yes, rappers fabricated shit when I was a kid, for sure. But you went outside and realized you wasn't meant for that pretty fucking quickly.
Yeah, because what's your take on Ja Morant? Because now they just had to go do a wellness check on this nigga.
That's my whole point to it. Like, why you have a gun on Instagram? That doesn't happen even if Instagram exists in a different era.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Me being from this generation, I feel like a lot has to do who you surround yourself with, because I got homies that ain't never been through what I've been through and are trapping and doing what they do. And in my head, I'm like, bro, you know that shit not forever, right? That's just my take on it, right? just me being like how I was raised and shit. And then it's vice versa. They probably look at me like, well, you could be out here doing what we doing, but you over there podcasting and being a YouTuber and shit. So, but then when I see you guys, I think even when we're talking earlier about like the generational gap and like the Wi-Fi shit and like getting into content, like bro, even like there's a lot more legends from the 90s and the 2000s that are still alive now, and a lot of people that we're looking up to and seeing grow fucking are no longer here. Yeah. And I could be a big, and the drugs have a lot to do with that, gun violence has a lot to do with it. And I've seen people that I guess would have been in my realm, in my generation, like the Pop Smokes, the Juice WRLD, the Money Sign Sways, and all these situations.
Lil Peep.
All these situations, you're sitting there like.
But also, nigga, it's different too because they look, like you said, they look down upon us when we doing this fucking podcast shit. We coming from the streets, but then they want us to bring the streets into this shit. Mm-hmm. And then motherfuckers ridicule us because
Facts.
we not bringing the streets into this shit.
Facts.
You feel me? Like, and now it's politics and this shit.
Yeah, no.
Why you ain't bringing the streets?
No, but look,
Why
You also talking about rappers that
That's
made
a
it.
good one.
No, but that's what I'm
There's a
saying.
million rappers that never made it that are doing okay in their life now from the last era.
Exactly.
And that's
It's real shit.
because
And that's what I'm
it did
saying.
not require you to join a gang that you had no business joining. It didn't require you to get tattoo your whole fucking face. It didn't require you to probably even take drugs you probably wouldn't have taken. It didn't require you to get on a fucking phone and make a fool of yourself for content that's going to be there forever. That's the difference between these eras. It's the failed rappers that could have been successful in another world.
And
You know how many rappers from the 2000s that are striving with families, houses, rich, they just didn't make it as a rapper. It's fine. They doing all right. These kids now that aren't going to make it is way more who I'm concerned about.
Right.
That's real.
They're
Right.
fucked after this.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's
Real
what.
shit.
And look,
Because there's
and
so
look,
much to what you're saying with
Real
podcasts.
shit.
There's so much other shit you could do. You fucking your whole life off based off the standards of this era of rap, and some are gonna make it, some are gonna be great, fuck them whole lives up, but they still made it to some degree. The people that don't, you got a whole face tattoo, a fucking opiate addiction, and there's a million videos of you on the internet being a fucking idiot.
And look,
Because you wanted to be a rapper. You didn't even care about the music. You was caring about that shit.
and that's what I'm saying, because I think there's like, I'm blessed to be part of a lane that was of a lane that's not really looked cool in my generation, in my era. All of you guys are 10 plus years older than me. I can't sit there and shit with any of my homies, but I got 5,000 rapper homies that are my age. All of them want to trap and go scam and make this money and eat it up. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. I gotta go film because I gotta go make this money real quick. And they don't look at me crazy, but
It's looked down upon.
no, it's not looked down upon. But that's cool, fool. You're cool, but I'm gonna go make this certain thing. But then when you start seeing the success, it's kind of like that. But then when I start looking at them and you see some people do pass away. Some people were going to be successful. They really did care about the music, but unfortunately things happen in life.
But
I think that's like the crazy gap about the shit.
But I think this podcast here is a perfect example of showing that there's other outlets.
Real
like
shit.
because a lot of people do rap, especially now, just as a lick, which I get. It's a very profitable spot. But you could also you may be more talented at this type of shit.
Than anything
Which
else.
when you were coming up,
He was
rapping, you were incredible, but this didn't exist.
At all.
So you had to like really find a studio. You had to, because you wanted to rap, you had to do a lot of work.
Real shit.
A lot of these kids don't have to do a lot of work besides plugging a fucking shit into the computer and start rapping. That's why the music suffers. Maybe they're better at this, but this didn't exist. So
Speaking about the kids too, I seen your recent pod. You said something. Kids with 2 dads now will kind of get celebrated and shit. Did you mean that when you said that?
yeah,
Why?
you don't think a kid with 2 dads would be more celebrated than?
No.
You white. I mean,
Terrell. A kid growing up with two gay dads. Well, 2 dads that are.
Well, where are we raising them in the schoolyards we grew up in, or the ones that are happening now? I live in New York City, where
It's a little different.
but I'm not raising my kid in fucking Hollis, Queens. It would be in the city where like that kid would be put on a pedestal. You got 2 dads, you the coolest. Like It's not how we grew up.
I was like, man, bro, if I had 2 dads in elementary.
but it's the reality of the world now. So
I mean, but if you really think about it, though,
bro, you gotta think about it, bro. We got bullied.
and a real dad. Like,
I got
that's crazy, bro.
You had a stepdad, bitch.
No, it ain't confusing because your mom would probably have, her husband. He love you to death. He gonna take care of you. He doing all the shit for you. And then you got your dad who's love you to death. He's gonna take care of you. They gonna come to the birthday party. They gonna eat a hot link together. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what you eat at the hot link. That's what you eat at the barbecues. You feel me? Chips,
The hot link,
some eggs, some hot link. You know what I mean? It's cool. They go like, damn, you got 2 crazy dads. They buying you Jordans everywhere. Like, it might be crazy like that, but if you got 2 crazy dads. It's wild.
And think about that too.
That don't like you feel me? And then a nigga that you disowned you.
2 dads a
Even
gangbang.
Even that line
that's
kids
bad.
use, like, I'm gonna get my dad. Like, then you got 2. Like, now we jumping somebody.
If it goes good. If it's going good. If it's going good.
I was gonna.
Yeah, if it's going good.
What daddy you want to fight? Him and him.
They say, nigga, fuck your mama. I ain't got no mama, nigga.
I was gonna. What's it called?
I couldn't survive as a ginger on the schoolyard. Having 2 dads would have been crazy.
bro,
But I'm saying
crazy.
right now, like, yeah, they would be embraced.
Yeah, because it was our era. Oh, yeah. They running you out of school.
What?
Which is terrible. You know what I mean? But shit.
Listen, my skin when you hit it turns red. That was a theme. Like, let's go hit him. It's funny.
Damn.
That's how I learned how to fight.
They did that to you?
Of course, I was a fucking fair-skinned ginger kid. And yeah, when you hit him, it turns red. I'm talking about like when it's young. And then that's how I learned how to fight.
Oh yeah,
Off
T-Rell.
that type of shit. I wish I would have had 2 dads to help me.
Go, bitch.
Yeah, well, T-Rell used to fight white people for fun on Fig. That's what you said.
So you would have hit Rory back in the day.
Probably.
No, he's not really white. Like, I'm Irish too, like 10%. Like,
You
we got
ain't
a connection.
Irish, bitch.
No, I am. I
Yo,
did my
you're a
23andMe.
culture vulture.
No,
Get out of this Irish shit. You're a culture
23andMe.
vulture. Stop
I did my
trying to
23andMe.
vulture my culture,
No,
bro.
me and you connect. Me and you connect. We connect. I'm 10% Irish. I don't want to hear that
Bitch,
shit.
you from Hoover. You ain't from Irish at all.
Orange.
Hey, let's talk about the music,
Hold on,
motherfucker.
real quick. How do the podcasts in the East Coast look at podcasting on the West Coast?
Oh, good
And do
question.
you guys put?
Relax, Vibe magazine. There's no beef. I don't know.
No. I'm saying because.
Click in it.
No, I'm saying because. No, I'm saying low key
like it.
because we sit here, and even though we don't see it, and it's not like we're like, oh, you guys are the kings, but we do put you guys in a high pedestal when it comes to like you guys kind of being like the
Forefront of
the
this
forefront of this shit, and you guys just always getting the super. Like I
They
feel
get
like
the looks.
Yeah, you guys get the looks, and we don't because of a lot of. And I'm saying that has nothing to do with you guys personally, but how do you guys look at us? And do you guys think like maybe not like oh little brother they try to do what we do, but like oh fuck, what's it called? They still have a lot of work to do.
I look at it as payback because you guys took the music industry.
Just for a little bit.
I look at it as fucking payback.
He ain't lying though.
Just for a
I look
little
at yo,
bit.
everybody outside of you could say sounds regardless, but the whole music industry left New York. Everybody, if you wanted to be a player in the music industry, you had to move to Los Angeles, and even you could say the sound. You
Like
could
how
say
you
all the
said
musicians, everybody, and shit. A lot of the musicians that really make a lot of noise for real are actually from LA. But even transplants, everybody moved to LA. I'm kind of joking in what your question is, but I'm serious. When podcasting hit in New York, I was like, fuck, thank you. We have something. Because you guys took, rightfully so, fucking everything.
Well-
Every artist moved out there. Like, podcasting forced artists to now have to go back to the East Coast. They had to go back for Breakfast Club. And then when Zoom was created, it was like, well, we don't. Podcasting has forced artists to have to go back to the East Coast. There's nothing, there's no rappers, R&B. Everything is Atlanta or LA.
Yeah, to a certain
And
extent, if you're on a promo run,
mind you,
yeah.
this hurts my heart as a New Yorker to admit. I know we're supposed to lie. But the whole shit was taken. Podcasting made me feel better that, all right, this is the new wave for New York. At least we have everything here.
I kind of feel like it's kind of shifting from us too, because their war shows are now moving from LA, and they're going down south now. They're going to other
Texas
places.
and shit, yeah.
Austin, Texas is probably going to be the next home
Thriving.
of it.
Hell yeah.
It's
It's already. Yeah.
Do you guys for respect it our shit like how we respect yours? You think?
Of course.
Like, what
Is there another? Is there a follow-up question? I'm
No,
I think he's trying to bang on you, Rory. Like, you don't fuck with us?
Continue, right?
I'm gonna keep it a bug. No,
What you mean by that?
No, and I don't mean you don't maliciously not respect us, but do you guys kind of oversee our shit because you guys are the forefront of this shit?
No, of course
Like not pay attention?
No, and I think the region shit is those lines are so blurred now. Music almost sounds all the same now. I'm talking about more like, I hate to use the word, the players and the behind the scenes game. Everyone moved to LA, the South. But as far as culture, a lot of shit has been blurred.
I mean,
So there's no, I don't even know how to answer that.
yeah,
I wouldn't look at some West Coast shit and be like, I don't respect that when it comes to this type of stuff because everything's blurred.
top 3 podcasts right now on the West Coast.
I know you were coming with the bullshit. That's a good one.
Oh, I could really start some people. Brown Bag Podcast.
Yeah.
But there's no longer a brown bag.
There is. First of all,
I just want to start some shit. He's trying to start some shit, so I replied.
He quit.
Barely.
I know.
I quit part 106.
You see how I deflected that question? Now it's on you.
He's still going. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Okay, it's looking
Yeah, you feel me? What you got in office? What you got in office? It's looking good.
Brown Bag Pod is looking good.
Brown bag pot is looking
I
good.
want to hear that
Maul
shit.
and I came back to the JBP for one episode. We thought it looked good too.
Whoa! Take your ass home. That's what that means. Next day, don't come back. But,
What would y'all consider? What would y'all consider West Coast pod? I don't look at
I don't
shit that
wanna-
way. I don't even think Maul and I are an East Coast podcast.
You got
That's
two
so
more.
weird.
You're definitely a podcast in the East Coast.
You answered
Yeah,
my
but how-
goddamn question.
That's what I said. You got 2 more.
So
Can't
people that
deflate.
have their studios and some of Maul and I's best interviews are in LA. It's not an East Coast podcast.
Okay.
Y'all
keep
East
it.
Coast.
Keep it on. Keep it. Answer the damn
Yeah, no, I'm
question.
from the East Coast.
2 more.
Come on, you on the West Side now.
Brown bag.
Who you fucking with?
Well, I mean, will we not say this just for? There's a lot of people in here, so this one I think takes all 3 slots. No,
I
FIGGMUNITY!
like that answer.
Rory said it first.
I like that answer.
like okay, like also no.
fit community, brown bag. We win.
My Paru homie said it first, man. Y'all get it.
And you know
Oh,
what?
like would Vlad be a LA podcast?
And I'm gonna answer your
LA,
question.
for sure.
Vlad.
So he would be a LA.
Oh, Vlad. Okay, if you want to put him there.
I
you know
wouldn't.
what
I'm just saying, but I don't understand the question.
Well, Vlad is not really a podcast. It's interviewers.
I mean, but you would have dude. You feel me? Like his shit too. But I would say to answer your question, there's not a lot of podcasts over here. I would say it's just a lot of radio station.
Yeah.
You know, shit going on over here. They
Bootleg Kev for sure.
okay.
Kev,
Bootleg
do
Kev,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
I know this sounds weird because this was the people.
This really live. You know what I'm saying? We got people at the door
Yeah,
that's
they
doing
come.
dumb shit.
I would say y'all, Bootleg Kev, and I wasn't joking when I said Brown Bag because when they opened up for us for our live show, I had that shit fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the audience that they had in that regard. I knew, but I didn't know. Sometimes you have to see the shit and like how much people really gravitate to stuff in person. And yeah, I hope y'all work that shit out.
Their
But
live
off the
show
top
is
of my
ama-
head,
their live
I
show
know
is
it's-
amazing, too.
This seems like a political answer, but it kind of aligns with why I talk to the people I talk to on this press run. I want to fuck with y'all. I want to fuck with Kev. And I mean, I didn't know the status of Brown Bag because I knew there was some turmoil, but
No, well, shout out you because even when we came out, I told Letty and Vic, I'm like, bro, you
Your
know,
mic ain't on.
this shit ain't that much.
on Brown Bag either.
Your mic ain't on no brown bag.
So
either.
you ass ain't get paid, Joe Budden.
There you go.
Big facts. See how easy that goes?
Nigga ain't get paid.
I'm not hard to have a return.
I was getting paid. Nah, but look, shout out you guys most that because I ain't gonna. I told Letty and Vic, I'm like, hey, fool, they do like straight hip hop shit. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about like what they be talking because I watched like a whole week of your shit when shout out Banner he plugged that for us and shit. But I went out there and I was like, I'm gonna just do what I know how to do. And I was just clowning, talking shit. But y'all fans really reacted
No, y'all smoked
towards
that
us.
shit.
And I was like, we just gotta do what we do already. Obviously, recently, I just decided to do my own shit. But man, we working on some dope shit. And honestly, for a minute, I did think, I was like, damn, what if this shit never happen again? It was a good run. It was sad. But then us just seeing us kind of get the groove back and we're working on some things. I'm excited because now that we just way more connected, we got this, we have that back on Fig. They just sold out 2 days at Del Rey. So shout out them, you feel me? We're going to be able to do some super wild shit and we're all homies.
And congratulations to the homies for hitting 100,000.
100K, boys.
100%. Straight up. That's
Welcome
fire.
to the Black Brothers.
Thank you.
But I think that's beautiful. I think you, and then that shows a lot about y'all podcast and y'all character, being able to be like, yeah, let's let this
LA.
Yeah, this LA little podcast come open up for us.
We did it at every stop.
And
Every single stop
shout out
on-
you guys for doing that.
He didn't invite us.
But do you gravitate towards more
They gave us like
podcasts?
three
But by the way,
Yeah.
my only beef, y'all smoked that opening show. You guys fleeced our green room. Like, there was no liquor left. I couldn't even get
that was his fault.
my carrots and grapes that I had on my rider.
Well, he didn't eat the veggies. I'll tell you
I
that
didn't
now.
eat the veggies because I ain't gonna lie. The
didn't do
pizza
that.
y'all had there was bullshit. Them crackers and ham.
So I didn't
I was
interrupt you.
like, what the
So you
fuck
tried
is
everything.
this? Yes, I thought they were fucking
I
vegan.
showed up.
Bullshit. I got your leg. Fuck you.
All my Casamigos was gone. I was like, well,
First of all,
let me tell you, I just wanted to know that Brown Bag Pod ruined our green room.
okay.
I mean, you know, they
Okay.
do come from nothing. They wanted to eat everything up in there. I mean, you know,
What?
from the ghetto.
I ain't gonna lie. The one that y'all
You
did,
fat.
it was wild back there. I think it was
Oh, the one at the Novo?
It kind of was trashed at the end of that. A lot of bucanas everywhere.
Oh, there was Bucanas tequila everywhere, and that little bit was bad. No, but shout out y'all
Doing the
definitely,
Novo is crazy.
bro. That shit.
That's fire.
I ain't gonna lie, and they was
No,
back there with it.
a lot of people can't say they did that. So like, I hope you know that that's fucking crazy.
And a lot of artists.
Hell
Real
yeah.
shit.
Along with a podcast is really crazy. But I was going to ask you, do you gravitate toward, you know what I'm saying, podcasts that really know about hip hop? Because I know y'all answered, asked that question when y'all was on the other dude podcast. And I was like, let me see your Spotify like playlist, like the last things you ever played. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's a lot of excuses going on, or you know, they didn't know how to get to the actual playlist or what, you know, the latest played. But we asked this dumbass, you know, and he all corridos.
when
You know
he
what I'm
was
saying?
on Where Hip Hop Lives.
God damn. You know what I'm
So it's
saying?
not just me, Vlad, and Bootleg Kev. He's a culture vulture as well.
We just fucking do no. We just fucking do no.
Hey, it's me, you, Vlad. Who else? Who we missing?
Yeah, get that nigga
Rosenberg's
doing
there.
That's 'cause, you know, I feel the narrative,
nigga do
but
it
also
up.
I feel like people thought I was supposed to be offended that I don't want to respect the crap that my people make. And that's what's crazy about it. But like, I mean, shit, T-Rell can't name you. I asked the same questions to them, and they were like, but we rappers and we do this and this.
I didn't say none of that.
But I mean, if I'm a culture vulture, I guess it's cool. Y'all still want to come on Cheeseman with DoKnow, and y'all
we
want
don't.
Mexicans to be part of everything.
we
I ain't
don't.
never been on that shit.
Yeah, you have, motherfucker. And yeah, you have, bitch. So was your wife. And she did more numbers than you. Yeah, bitch.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, yes, she did. Your wife did way more numbers than you, bitch.
Stay out of this one.
Yeah.
I got her popping, that's why. Go feed.
Right.
Why you shake my hand? She on you too.
Hey, T-Rell, you said I'm a
Shit.
But do you get that a lot, like the culture vulture shit?
Of course.
Damn.
I ain't gonna. I'm starting to embrace it. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Dude, no, stop talking.
Why? Oh, because they did it in our community.
No, you're not embracing that. No.
I think you feel me? I shout out hip hop.
Are you embracing it?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
I don't think I'm a culture vulture, but if someone calls me one, I'm not
That's what I
offended by it
meant,
either.
yeah.
I get it.
Dude don't wants to embody it, so go ahead.
But I've also had even
You think I'm a
white
culture
people,
vulture?
No.
white people that I don't think are culture vultures tell me to stop saying I'm a guest in hip hop. They're like, yo, you're not a guest. Stop saying that. I'm like, no, I'm a guest. That's cool. What's wrong with being a guest?
T-Rell, do you
I
think
contribute a
me
lot.
and-
I'm aware I'm a guest. That's fine.
Hey, T-Rell, do you think me and Rory are guests in hip hop in your space in this?
You not in hip hop.
Right, you ain't got nothing to do with it at all. You made that clear yourself. Don't look at me
Rory
like
is
that.
contributing to hip hop.
What has he
He's trying
done?
to make it. He's dropping the album.
I wouldn't
Right.
say that. I mean, I
mean, R&B is still black though too. It's not.
yeah, R&B is crazy.
And it comes out, I don't know what, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Friday.
9 p.m.
I mean, if you really respect hip hop, man, you indulge in the culture, man, and you really love it, you educate yourself. Like you're not a guest. This is who you are, and this is what you're doing. You're not a fucking guest, man. I mean, we started it. Our black people started this shit. I obviously know that. Everybody knows that. This is where it comes from. The East Coast, this is where it comes from. But we're obviously growing. If you want to grow and you want to get to the certain plateaus, like, we just have to stop putting that shit on people. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
you're not a guest in this shit, bro.
I don't want to sound too much like
only
a
if
Democrat, but
only if you're doing like shit like other people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I just met a lot of white people that are super fans and nerds of hip hop, but just the music.
Yeah.
And like, I've always felt, again, outside looking in, hip hop is well more than just the music. So watching a lot of even certain white people I grew up with that we were the same nerd in that regard are very much just for the music and not for the people and the regard of the culture. So I can definitely see why plenty of people would be like, all right, just because you love hip hop don't make you part of the shit. You could just love something, but hip hop is so much more than that. It's connected to so much more than just liking a fucking boom bap beat. And just because you love DJ Premier's beats doesn't mean you could name every credit on a DJ Premier thing. Doesn't make you a part of hip hop.
I was gonna ask you, do you feel like the need to explain yourself every time somebody asks? Because even
To
like
someone I respect, yeah.
because even like when
For sure.
when we
For sure.
like doing
I'll always
this shit
do that.
and always do it.
Someone I respect, of course. Always will explain myself.
Yeah, because I got that, because somebody brought up the shit we're talking about grills, and I was like, do I really have to explain myself? And I was sitting there and they were really confused about it, and I kind of broke it down, like all the artists I have worked with and done interviews with and sat down and done skits and opened up for and hosted their shows, and I was like, do people really still, like, do I need to explain myself? But I feel that answer right there, like when it comes to when you respect that person, I feel like you know what I'm saying?
And I think they deserve that.
Right. Out of respect.
They deserve it.
I mean, long as you ain't
Even
saying
if I
nigga,
feel
you
like
know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
need to.
Yeah, long as you ain't saying my nigga during YG verse, you good. I mean,
He probably do the doors closed too.
my
never
nigga.
do.
Have you ever said it?
No. Everyone thinks I'm lying.
Don't lie, Rory. Don't lie to us.
It's such to the point that I've had to answer this question because it sounds like I'm lying. I haven't. I grew up in it. I would have been smacked in my face. I have been birthed to be smacked if that happened. Like, I've been self-editing my entire life. When I read the shit I know people are gonna think I'm lying. When I read the shit on a tweet, I fucking take it out of my mind conscious.
How do you take that out of
skip
your
that word.
mind during that verse?
And by the way, I'm not trying to make myself feel like I'm better than anyone. I have way more things you can cancel me for. Just unfortunately, the N-word one is just not it.
right, nigga,
Way
I
other things
believe
you can cancel me for.
I'm not saying
I'm not a good person. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I'm not saying you, but I feel in my head, everybody, whatever race, nationality you is, if you just rap a YG song or any song you just, even if you was by yourself in the car, nigga, somebody would slip and say, my nigga. And then look around like,
Yeah, like what do you do at the
myself.
concerts?
I'm by myself.
You edit the concert.
Anytime that song came on, I went to the bathroom.
He bullshit.
Hey, smack.
No,
I would rapping that motherfucker like this.
Next time you see a white person that tends to be around black people and a song like that comes on, watch the awkward two-step that they do during it. It's something that we do to just self-edit and distract ourselves from records like that.
Hey, T-Rell,
We'll just sit like this. We won't rap along. We'll just do a little two-step.
No, they give you that eye contact to see if you approve it.
Hey, T-Rell, AD, smack, would you guys be
No,
mad?
I've never done
Rory
that.
said
That's
it?
crazy. He should.
Would you be mad?
Nope. No.
It just,
Everybody and their mama said, I
you know
wouldn't
what?
be mad.
You know what? It just depends on where you grew up, how you grew up, and what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, and if it's rolling off the tongue like that, I don't give a fuck, because a lot of our Hispanic, a lot of Hispanic culture says that shit right now, and we don't give a fuck. Whether
People get mad at us for letting you say it.
Hispanic, Dominican, whatever the case may
Culture
be,
vulture.
they say that shit, and we don't give a fuck. You feel me? Just because the way you grew up, and you're a part of us almost. You feel me? Like
So say it, Rory.
No.
No.
I mean,
Like that'll never. I could get any shit. The honorable
Don't go on a rant
Mr.
about Joe and be
Farrakhan.
like, nigga, I'm tired of you. Don't do that.
The honorable Mr. Farrakhan, which would never could give me a pass, and I would never do. Like I would never, even if you gave a pass, I have no interest in saying it. I just don't.
Well, let me ask you, who were your musical influences growing up as far as like rapper wise in the hip hop space? Who was you like a stand over?
I mean, I'm 33, so Nas was kind of it for me growing up, and that was a Queens thing.
You from Queens? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Nas was always that, but I'm also like a super nerd, and that's actually why this album was so cool. I have Fonte on my album, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Little Brother. Probably not. It's cool.
Little Brother was hard.
So that was also a big part of me coming up in the early 2000s of the rap shit, because that's when music changed drastically. I was growing up on quote unquote real hip hop shit.
Now the GLC and the Kanye era and everybody, Rhymefest and Common and
so much of that era that I grew up on changed, and Little Brother was kind of that for me. So Fonte was always my favorite rapper, artist. So having him on this album is like a dream. That shit is like Hove on my album. But yeah, that Little Brother, Nas, but I also come from that New York Dipset G-Unit era. Like that's my childhood for real.
So you're Dipset over the Locks?
No, but that's not fair. I know it's super political. No, but
No,
I love Dipset. I'm Dipset over here. But
Dipset.
but
also like a lot of the shit that the Locks did, like I think I was like 11 when We Are the Streets came out. Dipset, I was fucking 15 outside, mixtapes coming out.
Camera with
so
the paint.
I have a way deeper connection with Dipset than I do the Locks, but the Locks is the Locks. So even going back and listening to their music, it's tough to say. But if you like were in New York City and when Dipset and G-Unit were putting mixtapes out, like of course the albums were what they were. But that era, like I'm fucking Dipset was on 125th on a fucking like a float for a parade. Like that era is just different to me. That is where is in my heart. Locks I love, but
I mean, being well versed in hip hop, I know this is a cliche question. I mean, but you are from Queens. You know what I'm saying? You're 33, 33 years old. If Nas and Jay Z got on that stage in the verses,
Oh my God.
who is winning?
I'll take away my bias. I was a Nas fan growing up, even when that whole beef went back and forth. I was on Nas' side. I will admit immediately, Jay Z is the greatest rapper of all time. I'm a bigger Jay Z fan than I am a Nas fan.
Who started
But he was
climbing?
talking about growing up. Growing up, I was Nas. Anything Queens related down from Mobb Deep, even like listening to my older homies, Cool G rap shit. Like it was just Queen shit I loved. But yeah, once I got a little older and like was listening for real, and not to say Nas is not saying nothing, Hove is the greatest. That's why like I had to propose.
Let's get to that.
hey, you probably didn't like it because he.
gonna like this one. But
no,
we
you
said
probably-
No. Hove is the greatest to me. And so to answer your question,
Yes.
Hove for sure. Nas was just when I was a kid, you couldn't tell me anything else about Nas. I love Nostradamus the way people don't.
Even in that
Yeah,
beef,
and that's not cool.
even in that beef too. I know Jay Z. He used the Super Ugly. You know, in the Super Ugly disc, he used the West Coast beat. Do you think that kind of took points away from the East Coast?
Nah, Super
in the
Ugly
disc by
was,
doing that.
Wasn't Super
that
Ugly
Nocturnal?
the Got Yourself a Gun beat?
I got this gun.
Wasn't that the Super Ugly beat?
No, it switched to the Super.
Oh, yeah, it did. You're right. Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. What was the question? I just got a nerd moment of what it was.
Did it take away points as far as y'all diss track because it was Nas came straight East Coast bars and Jay Z he hit it, but he hit it with the West Coast beat. You feel me?
No, I think if Super Ugly was on an original beat and not on the Got Yourself a Gun to the switch over, that would be way fucking different. Because he went crazy on Super Ugly.
He did.
I actually thought he
Nuts,
went
but it was
real
like
crazy.
a freestyle.
Nigga
So
said left condoms on your baby seat. He was disrespectful.
How would okay? And then one like.
It's over.
We having technical difficulties with my boy DoKnow.
It's over.
It's okay. We can still hear
I
you,
can
though,
hear you.
bitch.
Yeah, yeah,
Ask your question.
TDE or Death Row?
God damn it.
TDE or Death Row? Because this is a conversation that we've been having for the last like
3 weeks.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
and nobody can seem to find the answer.
Oh, we found the
You're not
answer.
and you're not from the West Coast.
We found the answer.
Death Row.
TD.
Death Row.
TD.
it's not a fair
Yes, it is.
ask, but TD.
Thank you. Let's get to that.
So he went Jay Z over Nas. Now he going TD over Death Row. This is crazy.
Hey, on my face. Let's get to that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not fair.
Yes, it is.
No,
That's why it's TDE. How many years? Death Row impact wise, of course. But
Yeah.
how long did that
Didn't last long.
Right. It didn't last long. So TD.
Yeah, but
Let's get to that.
Even in the
But also, why I think these things are unfair.
TDE too. So did that last long?
Whoa.
Yeah, it did.
So that's a long time, actually.
It was like a whole
That's a
decade.
long time.
Right.
And that's what we knew about. Maybe 20 years if we're talking about how long they knew each other.
A decade.
But that's not even fair, like, because I hate putting that shit on. I don't know what Suge's genius would have been like in this era. That's why I think it's unfair.
couldn't do
We've
it.
seen what Top has done as far as versatility. Like, dog, SZA, there's no SZA in Death Row, which also isn't fair to put on Death Row because their run wasn't that long. And Dre in himself had something before and then quickly wanted to move on to something else after. Snoop had a great time in Death Row, but moved the fuck on, and Snoop is not even defined by Death Row. Like, not even a little bit. So it's tough to say, and I just don't think it's a fair conversation to say TDE versus Death Row because the obvious answer is TDE.
And you got
it's not
Reason.
even fucking close.
And you got Reason on your album, so I know it's your
100%.
promo. Okay.
That
When
part.
I said
I didn't even say that.
Shout out
See?
to Reason. That's
No,
my
that's
guy.
my brother.
Reason.
But-
I argue my
and,
TDE
and
point
raps
here.
better than.
That's facts.
Listen, Reason is. I would challenge any new era rapper to go against Reason and see
He gon-
what
he
the
gon-
fuck would happen.
He gonna tear him up. Pause.
That's my brother.
So what would you?
Reason.
Well, Simba is really good. I mean, you know, they can go. They can
Simba
go back
gonna
and
go
forth.
back and
Okay,
forth.
also
Simba is
even
really- is-
with
is
Doechii
great.
right now, like
yeah.
Doechie's
bad.
hard.
you can't even compare that with the Death Row era of like what Doechii could be in this new era. It's just a weird conversation.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
Well, I put it in this perspective. Like, if you were this artist, you put these two artists in the studio who can make the best song from
At their prime.
scratch. Like, they're musically
Fam.
inclined. Like,
Let's go against
Kendrick is
Schoolboy's
crazy.
hits.
Yeah. I mean,
talk about it.
Let's
Let's talk
explain that. Y'all go ahead and explain it, because y'all was death row in this motherfucker.
Yeah, let's talk about
So
it.
now we got a nigga who in here.
If you
who
want to
really
say
know the hip
Schoolboy,
hop.
keep winning every time.
Wait,
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Fight me now.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I ain't fake though. I told that to Q himself though. He was here.
I got help today.
Look, when I bring it up, oh, that's your brother, so no, I'm glad he's
But no.
Let
That's
the
he's
record
been.
reflect.
No, but you gotta actually.
Schoolboy
You
as
didn't even
far
know a Q album.
Man, I gotta know it, nigga. That's my brother.
I said, what's your favorite album? He said the song.
Yeah, so what? But I was there for all that shit. I'm there still to this day. Like, I don't gotta know none of look, I don't gotta know none of Quincy Hanley albums, nigga, because that's from 2 years old. I got
But they told me.
And let's pull. We got a screen right here.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the Death Row discography versus the TDE discography. Y'all are gonna
That's
have
not-
a different conversation.
That's not fair.
Oh, now it's not fair, right? It wasn't fair before.
That's not fair.
fair at first, though.
What do you mean? I said
Then
as
my
far
take.
as the rappers, the people that came, the Snoops, Corrupts, the Daz, the Nate Dogs, and everything, comparing that and what he said is people in their prime. If they had to make a song, that's very hard.
But no, they said, well, who has a better? What album does Q has better than the Chronic? I had to get up.
But
I gotta
why do we
pee
have to
right now.
put Q's catalog against that when we could go through Kendrick's catalog against the?
Good Kid, Mad City is there.
Because I'll put Q's catalog against Michelet if you want to go there.
You can't say Michelet.
Or Dog Pound.
Oh, you cold.
Or Dog Pound.
He is cold.
Why are we picking and choosing which artists we gonna put
No, Michelet. Come on.
Rory. So we're going top three, right?
So we said Snoop, Tupac, and Dre, and then we said
Dre has one album in Death Row.
Listen, and then we said Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, and SZA. If we're talking numbers, SZA's blowing everybody out the water, bro. I looked it up on Spotify yesterday. She's 60 million monthly. And
That's
all
a-
types.
that's
That's one thing. That's one thing.
SZA's outta here. That's a
Nate Dogg
different
too.
time, though.
They had Nate Dogg too, and TDE got Isaiah Rashad. I'm finna compete.
And then on top of that, bro, you talking about physical album sales versus streams.
No, 100%.
It's two totally different things.
Hard copy. You gotta go buy that tape.
Nigga, which means it was way more money.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, Dre
It was way more money.
a part owner and producer on that shit, but one album, Dre versus Kendrick in a TDE versus Death Row.
Me? Good Kid,
comparison
Mad
is
City-
fucking crazy. Like what?
Good
Kendrick
Kid, Mad
wins
City is
10,000 times over.
Good
Like,
Kid, Mad City is a better
The Chronic,
album
of
to
course,
me
is a classic,
than the
but-
Chronic. And for me though, you feel me?
oh, I mean,
That's
but
me personally.
At my age, yeah.
But Dog
Good Kid doesn't
Food,
even. I don't listen to the Chronic like that.
Dog Food, I'm biased
It's
for
a
Dog
classic.
Food.
I get it.
Dog Food
It's
is a
not
classic
my shit.
album.
I'm young. I'm a
Niggas
kid.
sleeping on DPG, man.
I'm saying because they came. for other guys, they didn't come out exactly during my era, but I was.
Look at T-Rell singing.
I was like in middle school and high school when Schoolboy Q.
You're not helping Death Row's case. Just letting you know.
I got sunshine.
But I don't know. To me, it's still hard.
all day. That's the goddamn bottom line.
I fuck with Kendrick.
I don't think the conversation is TDE versus Death Row. It's TDE versus every label that's existed.
This nigga really singing in the bathroom.
Shut the hell up.
He probably taking a shit and don't want us to hear.
Oh.
That's
what God feel like.
Did it work now? Mic check. Yeah, it's cool now.
My daughter rhyme to that shit, bruh. Life into the bank like ha.
I ain't gonna lie, the good kid.
I love that Death Row record.
For good kid.
Man, yeah, that's a crazy ass argument, man. We was going back and forth, man. Shout out to BET, man, for having us go through that bracket, because they have a bracket going on right now, and you know, right now it's Death Row against TDE, and the argument is wild right now. And we was losing. Death Row was skunking their ass by 70%, like 75%, and I'm like, damn. I guess it was the impact, because you got Pac, you got Snoop, from these the biggest rappers in the world.
Two different objectives of labels as well. Like, yeah, you can't talk about Death Row when it comes to hits. Like, that's solidified.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
a hard argument, but that's the beauty of TDE.
Yeah,
they've never had to rely on hits. They have them. Don't get us
millions of them.
But name anyone in there that has relied on a hit record in that fucking camp.
Their fan base,
Get to that.
their fan base is totally different.
But
Die
different
hard, no
eras,
matter
like-
what.
Hey, do you respect the going ghost shit?
What?
like going ghost. You believe?
Yeah,
you mean
like
a rapper,
the rapper, like kind of.
I don't know.
You
Taking time
kind of
off.
see, because you gotta see TD's agenda, and I don't know. I'm just saying from what I've seen, like it was like whenever Kendrick dropped, we always had to wait. Like I remember Kendrick dropped in
like
fucking
5
middle
years.
school, and then he didn't drop again until I was a senior, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Bro, it's the quality of the work. As long as the quality is great every time, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because some people come out
do you
and
think
put
that affects your like stardom and shit like that? Like the stardom and like the way you hold.
No, because do you think, and you kind of, not really you, but Cardi B kind of got on Maul about it. Yeah, but
I got tied into it.
yeah, you got tied into it too. I mean, she ain't dropped the album in 5 years. I still feel like Cardi B is still top of the top in hierarchy when it comes to female rap, and it hasn't detoured her.
Ice Spice one, she had a song with Taylor Swift. It's over with.
Yeah,
It's over with.
She's
She
out
out
of
of here.
She's out of
She
here.
got a song with Taylor Swift.
Dropping this week.
Ice Spice, it's done.
Y'all think that
No, I
That
don't
what?
give a
It's
fuck.
over?
that she's out of here because of that record?
I think that's going to do a whole
you talking
lot
about-
more.
you talking
for her
about the
career.
most-
for her
And
career.
That Pink Panther song that she has right now is one of the biggest international.
That's the one that gets her out of here.
Over Taylor Swift?
Hell yeah. For what she's trying to do, two young artists, one from the UK, one from New York.
Yeah,
That makes sense. And you could tell that record is good. You could tell they worked on it together. Like, that's gonna matter clearly.
are you an Ice
This
Spice fan?
Taylor's no,
There you go. There you go with the white on white beef, Rory.
No.
no. It could have been a black artist at that pop level that is just reaching down to Ice Spice for relevancy.
You think Taylor Swift needs relevancy?
Yes.
No.
Oh shit,
Nigga,
hey, T-Rell.
didn't she sell the most music this year?
For sure.
She has a banner. She's probably one of the ones.
Didn't she sell more than everybody in just
I know,
vinyls?
Are you listening
No,
to
I
Taylor
completely-
Swift?
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm just
I
saying.
completely
as
agree,
far
but
as
why?
stats-wise.
But why do you think that she's continued to do that? She has to continue
Connecting
to
herself.
find relevancy. So this is the next plan. I'm
So
not
does
saying
Drake do that?
She doesn't. Yes, he does it, and I think a tasteful and a way that he actually gives a fuck. I don't think Taylor Swift
gives a fuck about Ice Spice.
about
Okay,
Ice Spice.
I agree with you on that point.
I think when Drake does it, yes, he really
cares.
does fuck with that artist and really wants to make that record go. But yeah, of course Taylor Swift doesn't need the relevancy, but eventually she will. And why she's stayed so relevant is because she continues to do the relevant shit. Now you're reaching down a fucking Ice Spice, and I get why Ice Spice would do it. I don't think it's gonna connect in this era the way it would have when it was labels, where you have to have the radio record with a big pop star. The Pink Panther shit, the kids love that
That's
girl.
a record, though.
It's a record. Two, that girl has a crazy following, especially in the UK. It feels like a real record that it feels like these two girls would hang out.
Exactly.
It's organic for sure.
Taylor
Well,
Swift is my age.
have you
I
heard
don't
the-
want to go near Ice Spice like that shit's weird.
Have you heard the record, though?
Just because Imagine it was a guy. Imagine it was a guy.
With her though, so
It would look weird.
Can't put an age on it though.
And then
Because
Nicki
Nicki
and
did
the-
it.
No,
And the-
that doesn't count. Nicki is a fucking rapper from this
Okay.
culture, from
True,
New York
true,
City,
true.
a legend in this culture that can help a young artist out. The same way I say when Drake reaches out to artists, I know he gets flack for it, but I think he really cares.
Do you think
Nicki can definitely go out and grab Ice Spice to do the remix. I think that's ill.
Didn't she sign her?
Taylor Swift, I don't like. Even if she does
Partnership.
love Ice Spice, I think this may fuck up Ice Spice more than it does Taylor Swift.
Whoa, okay, that's great. Okay. Do you think
It
Cardi
was too
B?
fast. Let that pink shit chill for a while. Like
I think it's a W for her.
I think it's a W too, but do you think Cardi B was reaching?
for numbers, for sure.
But do you think Cardi B was reaching when she tapped in with all the little young motherfuckers doing the drill shit in New York?
No, she's from that.
I mean, but
He's
she
saying
hasn't-
somebody that's coming
I
totally
get
left
that.
field.
No, I
Because
get
it is
that.
left field for a Taylor Swift and Ice Spice record.
Cardi is. You could look at Red Bars. One of my first freestyles that Cardi did, I was like, oh shit, she could kind of rap. Before Bodak Yellow, same corner store that she shot that shit with the drill kids in the Bronx. Like she comes from that.
That shit
That's
was
fine.
sick. Shout out
That's
him.
matter of fact, people would kill her. Why you not going back to boost people up from your community? So it's weird. Like you can't win as an artist. Because right now we're saying, would Cardi do that to stay relevant? But if she didn't do it, we'd say, why you not going back to the Bronx and helping out these drill kids?
Yeah, it's like a lose-lose if you
Now
don't do
Taylor
either
Swift
or.
just doesn't get that same flack from me. I'm sorry.
Do you think?
But who else is Taylor
White
Swift
privilege.
like
White
pulled
privilege.
up as far as rapper wise?
Kanye West.
Oh, shut the fuck up, bro.
Joking. It was a joke.
Yeah, if anything, Kanye made her shit skyrocket.
It was over with. But I don't know. That's one thing. I agree with what you're saying. But I think generally she's like, damn, this girl's talented. She's different. She's booming. Let me reach down. I guess that's the way of saying it. But it sounds kind of weird. But like, let me go help and shit. And I think who knows? It might be genuine though. It might be like she's genuinely a fan. Just like Billy Ray Cyrus went down and did a song with Lil Nas X that he didn't have to fucking do.
Sure.
And then too, she probably listening to her
And,
shit.
and I'm with you that it could be genuine. I don't know Taylor Swift. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't know her. But this seems like a really horrible label grab between two camps that think they need something they don't need. I don't think Taylor Swift needs this per se, but I think she's the beneficiary of this. I don't think Ice Spice,
Reached out to
with
her.
how she succeeded with the Pink record, I think that's her lane. She could be really dope in that world. Going into the Taylor Swift world, like,
Cause how's the
Then
video
what- then
gonna
what's
be?
gonna happen?
They gonna twerk like?
They going viral.
Are we looking at Taylor Swift twerking right now with Ice
If
Spice?
Taylor Swift twerk is
Her
going on.
ass about this big, so like, are you like no?
Like,
are
at
you
least-
looking at that?
Ice Spice got enough ass to share.
It's about this big.
Like, don't trip. I got the ass shaking. Just saying, bitch.
Yeah.
at least when like Cardi and Bruno Mars were doing those records
That was
together,
fire.
when
Shit
they
was
were
hard.
when they were trying to, you know, as
was hard.
labels do, mend the hottest new rapper with the pop star. At least it was, even you could say what you will, but at least there was some type of funk. Like there was some warmth to those songs.
with those shits.
And Bruno we liked before. Like he wasn't just some straight industry pan. Like he does an 8-ball. I'm sure he's doing one now. Like we fuck with him. Taylor is like just this straight fucking sad girl Starbucks pop music.
Damn.
But which, by the way, I like it. I don't think Taylor Swift is a bad artist.
So you're
I just
listening to
don't want
Taylor
to fucking
Swift.
hear Ice Spice with it because it's not Cardi B and Bruno Mars. Because that's how I know the labels are looking at it. Ice Spice and Taylor Swift to those execs is Cardi B and Bruno Mars, and it's not. That's how I know they're viewing it.
So what if your label put you with the artist and you felt like okay,
No.
you saying no?
Well, I'm an independent. I don't have a
Okay,
yeah.
that was my next question. So do you like being independent versus being signed, or would you rather be signed?
No, I like my independence, but I'm one of the few people that is independent and has been independent that think there's a lot of positivity with major labels for certain artists. I think a lot of artists should fuck with majors. I don't think majors are the complete devil. I think with certain artists' careers, especially in this era, you need a major label. I don't think independency is for everybody. I think it'll fuck your career up. I think that label should own some of y'all masters, and it'll be better off for you financially and for your career.
They got the best marketing.
Because
Yeah, like
a lot
it's-
of artists don't have structure.
Was marketing.
they don't know structure.
Independence sucks. There's nothing fun about independence.
Why? I mean, you independent doing the podcast thing, right?
I think if you succeed,
Yeah, I mean, with a licensing deal, but we're not. No one tells us what to do. But just as far as music with independence, and even with podcasting, it's not all it's cracked up to be. When you have to do everything,
It's harder,
you have to
too.
fund everything. Like, I mean, shout out to STEM. I'm independent with our label, with Emotional Oranges, and my project. But shout out to STEM that does help us when we do need some funding. Like, the independent wave got really fucking weird with the PR.
would you blame Empire
Like,
for that?
it's okay. No, I wouldn't blame Empire. I would blame everyone taking Dame Dash's Breakfast Club interview too literally.
But I
Dame
love
said,
Dame Dash.
listen, I'm a Dame stan. I think everything Dame said that in that interview was important, but I think a lot of people took that way too fucking literal and fucked themselves over. This independent game is not for everybody. Sometimes go to a major, bro. Majors do a lot for you. They really do. And especially if your goal is to be seen immediately, bro, go major right away. It's worth
That's
giving
true.
your masters.
But I think you should
and
tell
you're gonna
artists-
get to fund, and you could also go through STEM, which I did, which I got. I wouldn't call it in advance, but I got a recording budget based off my streams to help fund videos. Like, bro, taking other people's money in a good situation is okay.
That's what I was just gonna
Everyone
say.
stop with this whole independent, you have to put all your fucking money up. That's actually horrible fucking business advice. Someone owning your shit, yes, that's bad. But if you can find a deal with whether it's licensing, whether you could have a split off of multiple where they will invest this amount of money and you guys can split it down. Watch Shark Tank. Not one person in that entire Shark Tank show says, we need to own your entire fucking thing.
They want a
We will give
percentage.
you this amount of money for this amount of equity. That's good fucking business, and that's how this shit goes. That's why the music business is fucked up. And that's why Dame's message was so important, but also fucked people up to the same narrative that the labels give. He went too independent with it. No, not everyone can put all their money up. Sometimes you got to partner with people. Sometimes you have to give up a certain percentage that entity deserves. They deserve 15% of your music because they're putting up money, resources, sweat equity. Like, this shit doesn't happen without a tribe.
But you also
So
gotta
stop
tell,
with this whole only independent thing.
But no, you gotta tell the artist, even if you go do that, if you're going that route, your contracts have to be correct. You
Sure.
gotta go into a situation to where both of you guys feel comfortable. You just can't go sign anything.
Oh, of
and
course.
then and then that's why the majority of the artists and our older artists, don't like record labels. They left a bad taste in their mouth. So you have to go and sign those and be in those situations that you guys feel comfortable with. So if you're doing that, yes, if you're going into that like that, and get you a lawyer, get you a music lawyer, etc. But if you're not and you're just going to sign some bullshit, of course, you know what I'm saying. So you have to tell an artist that too. But I don't 100% believe like a label is a bad thing. It's not. But you
not.
still got to go into that label
Well,
like. You know what I'm saying? Like with a great contract. You know what I'm saying? You gotta agree to the terms. You can't just go in there with no bullshit.
But unfortunately, a lot of people aren't educated. They're broke, and they get an opportunity where they get a life-changing amount of money in front of their face. They can't sit there and turn that down. You know what I mean? And they get later on. Yeah, you see artists, they pop in, the labels put all their marketing budgeting behind it. They blow you up, and then once they become somebody and they're already rich, then they go back and say, okay, this was a shitty deal now. But if it wasn't for that shitty deal, in most cases, we probably wouldn't know who the fuck that they were in the first place.
And I'm speaking from someone that has signed shitty deals. I'm not speaking down on people. I have signed shitty deals, even at a time that I thought I knew everything, which was a very arrogant thought at the time. I've signed shitty deals, but you have to figure out, before looking for a deal, you have to figure out exactly what you want. And that's probably the tougher question. And I think that's why people sign shitty deals. Because sometimes artists are like, all right, I want attention. I want money. And for a major deal, yeah, you'll get a nice advance right away. And the situation you're in, I get it. You got people at home that need some bread. So $200,000 advance, bro, who could say no to that? Like, I would never shit on someone for that. And they're going to make me a star. But later on, you realize that you're in a 5-album deal, and if things don't go your way, you're fucked. So there is good parts of it, but to your point, you have to figure out how to navigate through that. And I don't know if it's true with Ice Spice, back to that. I think she owns her own masters, from what I understand. They put out that press release.
It was like a partnership, I think.
Yeah, so there's ways to do it, I think, now. And I think majors are being forced to adapt based off things like Dame's interview and what Nipsey was pushing. Like,
well, it's leverage, though, too. You have to have leverage to even be considered that.
But leverage is damn near considered money, kind of.
I mean, but
No.
if you were to put the
leverage is not liquid money. It's the deal
that's what I
points.
meant.
Deal points is what leverage is.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
The labels
worded
go
it
by
wrong.
they go
No, but
by
what I'm
stats.
saying-
They go by stats.
No,
A label will give you 200 grand. They piss 200 grand. Like,
Yeah, no.
they'll give you that all day. Deal points is where the leverage.
That's what I meant.
exists,
Like Nipsey could have gone anywhere and been like, "This is what I've done, and here's this." Type shit. And then, if you can match it. If not, then I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. But not everybody's blessed to do that, exactly what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, and which I don't blame a lot of young kids that need the bread and need the stardom, and that shit can work out. Like, I don't even know Kendrick's deal with what he did with TDE that ended up with Interscope. He owed a certain amount of albums, but it worked out. I'm sure Kendrick, which he won't speak, but probably had some discrepancies with his deal once he saw it on album 2. I'm sure he did, as anyone would. I'm sure Top probably had some discrepancies with his partnership with Interscope. Like, everyone does, no matter what, because you can never really know exactly what's going to happen when you're starting from the beginning with something. But from there, you have to just pivot and figure it out from there. But it doesn't mean that it was a bad thing. Because who knows if we get Good Kid, Mad City the same way if Interscope doesn't push swimming pools the same way. Like, we don't know. We don't know if we don't get the Jimmy Iovine, and that's not to take anything away from the creatives or from Kendrick, but who knows if Dre takes the amount of time he did with Kendrick if you don't have that investment with something that he already had. Because sometimes legends will fuck with you, but they have to be invested in it too. It's not always all about the art, even from creatives. I can't invest with a kid that I fuck with unless it's something I have in the long run too. I'm not about to make Good Kid, Mad City and EP that shit for the love. Who would do that?
Nah, nobody.
Don't rape him. Like, don't take his whole shit. But why the fuck would I do something like that without having some
type of investment?
Some investment in this shit.
But I do like people that, preach independency. Like,
I'm independent on everything.
I love it. And I also like, podcasters or whatever that say, I own my IP. I own this, and I own this. But I don't like when motherfuckers try to shit on you when it's time to start shitting on you. Say, nigga, you don't own your IP. You was a bitch. Or you taking these brand deals. You doing this. Nigga, I'm doing better than you. Like, certain shit, like, I don't like about motherfuckers trying to shit on you. You know what I'm saying? In that regard. But I do like independency because I feel like you might get a lot more out of it.
But you
also
have leverage, though.
Everything I just said is coming from someone that owns every last thing that he has. Yeah. I am independent as independent could fucking be. Down to the IRS conversation we had. Yeah. Like, I'm independent as independent could be. But there's certain artists and people that I meet that I'm not going to give them that independent talk or advice because it's not for them. They need a fucking investor. They need help, which is totally fine. I'm not shitting on them. I needed help too. I'm not against even partnering with people now. But that whole independent shit is not for everybody. That's all I'm saying. As someone that's the independent person.
I agree with that.
I'm tired of people shitting on artists that sign with labels when they need it. There's even podcasters that have done great deals with other entities that get shitted on. I'm like, no, that was good business. They own their shit, and they're gonna continue working for the next 5 years. Everyone's gonna eat. What's the problem? Shady business is the problem. That's the only thing. Independence, you don't have that, but it sucks. Sometimes you should go the other route.
Speaking of deals, minimum. As you can see, this is a shame on you.
My bad. Minimum.
No, it's good. I got to read my script now. Minimum. As you can see, this is Shame on You, presented by Minimum. Shout out to our people, Minimum. If you want quality clothes that make you look fly, you got to make sure that you tap in. They have new items being released every week, which means they have sales going on every week too. Click the link on the chat or use our code FMW20 for 20% off. Minimal.info. LA. And also, make sure you tap in with our Snapchat, man. Subscribe to the Shame on You. You know what I mean? You get to see exclusive behind the scenes footage. We filming shit behind the scenes right now. We're going to put everything up on there. So make sure you tap in with the Snapchat too, man. And appreciate our guy, Rory, man. The album comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
We're going to be in attendance at
Big
the
facts.
release party tomorrow too. So yeah, we coming light.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
8 o'clock.
It's tomorrow, but we ain't going
Yes, sir.
nowhere. We finna keep this motherfucker right here, though. So let's get into a couple topics. You feel me? That's like
Let's
you know
bust
what
it
I'm
down.
saying.
Let's go.
Bust it down.
Let's go.
So let the homie get into the bathroom, the whole little thing. Like, where the topics at, man? You feel me? Because we got a couple of current topics before we get out of here. I know motherfuckers want to hear our you know.
That was dope though.
That was fire.
I
Hey.
feel like we asked good questions.
Hey,
and shit. Yeah.
real quick though, did y'all see the fucking guy that's pretending to be a 6-year-old girl? I seen that shit while I was driving here.
That's some creepy
You
shit.
seen that shit? 6?
Yeah, that's.
I said, no, I'm asking you guys about a top.
No, we did not know about that.
Damn, I can't even bring up a
No,
top.
you can't.
No, we just said we didn't know about it. Tell us about it,
We're gonna
dude.
fucking have 6 pull it up before you guys shitted on me.
I didn't shit on you.
We
just
shitting
said
on
no.
somebody
It
who
just
want to be
sound
a
crazy.
6-year-old girl.
That is crazy. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
that is
no, but he
crazy.
was a man that has like a bunch of kids and just decided one day, like today, I'm a 6-year-old girl. And he made his whole living room into like a house, like a playhouse type shit, and he's on the internet just going crazy.
I mean, I seen a nigga like do that, be a dog like that. He just be in his cage, and his wife just lets him do it. So, like, niggas is weirdos.
Oh, y'all niggas is crazy. But this
They're
is a
weird.
hot topic right here. Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying? He interviewed with Akademiks, and he had a lot to say, you feel me, on what's going on. He spoke about Vaughn. He spoke about NBA Youngboy. You feel me? Like, he said he don't need NBA Youngboy for no motherfucking promo. Because he was going to outsell a nigga any motherfucking way. Do you niggas believe that?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, he's with the majors.
Huh?
Youngboy doesn't sell that much when it comes down to album sales, but he does crazy when it comes to YouTube numbers. For sure, for sure.
Facts.
Definitely do a lot of YouTube numbers and doing his thing over there. I feel Lil Durk though, man, but I'm more of a Lil Durk fan than an NBA Youngboy fan. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going NBA Youngboy in the whip.
I'm going in
Youngboy slapping
You
the
going
whip.
NBA Youngboy?
all day.
Youngboy slapping the whip, man.
and look.
Youngboy acting like they left there for dead.
And look.
Sure, they
I ain't
rolling
even
out
gonna
until
lie.
they give me head.
Yeah, but I ain't even gonna lie too. I think Bootleg Kev had a point. I don't think Lil Durk has a hit.
Do we need a hit like we was talking about right here with TDE? You don't have to work for
All
hits.
right.
You can just have the music
Every
out
artist
and
in
the
TDE
quality
has a
is
hit.
shit. It
Kendrick
does.
got a hit.
But it
SZA
ain't.
got a hit. Multiple hits. And I feel like when there were radio hits, there were club hits, there were all those things. And I think when Bootleg Kev said that statement,
He said he didn't have a top 10 hit.
I feel like it's Lil Durk's impact. His impact is huge when it comes
keep
down
it a
to
buck.
the game.
You know, yeah, in Chicago.
Nah, in general.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Not just Chicago.
Nah, it's
In
more around the
Chicago.
world.
Chicago.
Lil Durk is one of the biggest artists out right now.
No, hold on. What happened to Virgil? What happened to Virgil?
That was-
Broadway
hold on.
Girls, 3-headed goat.
No, Auto Durk is probably
No Auto Dirt.
that. Yeah,
No Auto Dirt. You fuck with that?
he gonna call me brothers just like Tina. Yeah, and I'm gonna give
But
my
is it like a hit?
I mean, would you call Finito a hit?
Yes.
Finito's a smash, but did it chart?
I think it charted.
You don't know that. You don't know hip hop.
Hey,
I'm gonna ask
did
somebody
it
that
chart?
knows. I'm not taking hip hop. Yeah, I ain't taking hip
Did it
hop.
chart?
Facts would do though.
Oh my God, no, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
6 Check and Finito charted, but you can't take nothing away from the impact of that song. That doesn't not make it a hit. You hear that in every fucking club.
All right, Rory. Bootleg Kev said Lil Durk does not have an official hit, a top 10 hit. Do you agree?
Finito didn't chart.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
Told you.
So he ugly out here.
No, Turk is great,
No.
but he just doesn't have like a.
And I said his
hit.
impact
Yeah.
is bigger, but he said his impact is only big in Chicago.
What is
No.
actually a hit
God,
out
Way
here?
bigger in Chicago. But bro, if
No,
you ask
Dirk's impact is crazy everywhere. He just doesn't
No,
have a
exactly.
hit record, which mad rappers out here without
No.
hit records that are thriving.
Well, by himself.
No, because back to the major shit, back to the like having a major label and having the support. Drake and J. Cole told NBA Youngboy like we fuck with you, but we can't do it because of Dirk. So with like So there's a reason why people ain't fucking
Nigga,
with
that's
him.
personal connection though.
Yeah.
You think that's personal?
Yes, nigga.
What is Drake
Yeah,
and
Jay
J. Cole have?
Prince told us.
What does Drake and J. Cole have anything to do with Chicago and their beef? NBA
What do you
Youngboy
mean?
and Lil Durk's beef.
They may just have a better relationship and they don't want to get in between that.
I don't think so.
Wait, Cole did a song
know
with Durk though. It was only a Drake thing. Where's Cole into this?
Cole reached out and him and NBA Youngboy were supposed to do a song, and then he never tapped back in.
Youngboy dissed Cole in.
Oh well, I mean, I
no.
see Drake's stance on that. No, like I
100%.
have a relationship with Durk, and y'all shit is not just rap beef.
And I ain't getting into it. And I'm not doing none of that shit.
Like I can't get involved. Like
And I can't get involved.
even
Don't
if
worry
it's
about
not your beef, like y'all shit is not just some funny back and forth. Like
Yeah,
people have
but that makes it personal. That's
people have passed away from this shit. Like
Okay, as a hip hop fan, how do we feel about this AI shit? Because Ice Cube out here says AI is bullshit, and if a motherfucker use AI using his voice, he's suing their ass.
as he should is his voice.
Because that AI shit, I feel like is getting out of hand, and most importantly, I feel like it's dangerous. Dangerous to the fact, that a motherfucker can call and act like your mother, your daughter, anybody. You feel me? And I'm kidnapped or anything like that. Something dangerous really can happen from that shit. So motherfuckers using your voice in the AI shit, I feel like,
I mean,
it's
you can
getting
use.
kind of crazy.
It's something dangerous about everything. Dangerous with social media, as as we continue to grow, there's going to be more things that come out that are going to be used negatively. But I see Timbaland, he's trying to flip the script now, where he's trying to use the AI to use dead people's voices to make new songs and shit. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It could be dope. It could not be. I mean, I feel like right now the AI, it doesn't sound spot on. You could tell that it's like it don't sound like the people actual voice.
I'm like,
it's off.
I'm suing your ass.
Yeah, it's your voice. Sue the ass.
Somebody say, you heard me? I'm suing you, bitch. We going to court.
Hey, it's me, Smack. Meet me at the Ramada TV, baby.
Man, but I think that's about it with our topics. I just wanted to touch on anyway. I really didn't get
that
I
AI
just wanted
shit's
to.
gonna ruin
Well,
the
shit,
world.
let's pull up this last one, man.
All right, our last one.
This
before we
one
get
is
up out of here.
crazy.
Not really.
Ice Cube said they offer Chris Tucker $12 million, which he's worth 20. Bitch, y'all still trying to cut my nigga shit in half. You know what I'm saying? To be on next Friday, and he turned that shit down due to religious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And my religious reasons, I would say Chris Tucker reason is y'all got me fucked all the way.
Nah, at the time he was on something different. though.
Like some super duper Christian shit.
And he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was fucking. He didn't need $12 million back then for no next Friday.
What if he like, I don't want that 12 because I'm worth 20 and all this other more. So, hey, we're going to use this religion. Tell him I'm
Well,
I'm
nigga,
religion.
he didn't get paid too much for the first movie, so
I know,
$12 million
none of
is.
them.
That shit was like a shove in the. I think what's his name? The dad that passed away got paid like $5,000 for that. Pops.
But he'll be moving backwards if he did that. That's how I feel. He's done Rush Hour. This is way bigger. This is way bigger production. This is way bigger budget. This is some whole other shit. So if I go back and do that, what is it really actually doing for me?
Well,
Man, call that shit 15. He's owed from the first Friday because that shit went crazy and he was paid really low.
Right.
Yeah.
But Chris Tucker right now is not worth $20 million for a movie.
no.
I know no one will admit that. He's a comedy legend to me. I love him. He's not worth $20 million. He's not moving $20 million worth of tickets.
Except in Rush
But
Hour.
he's deserved bread from that Friday.
In Rush Hour, he
shit.
moving it.
Rush
Come back
Hour,
out for
Rush
sure.
Hour.
Yeah, we're talking about a whole
That's Rush
different
Hour.
era. A whole different era.
Well, they got another one coming out. He's worth $20 million for Rush Hour. Was it 4?
Do you really think that though?
Yeah, nigga. Everybody gonna go see the fucking Chris Tucker and Jackie
I don't
Chan.
give a
Man,
fuck.
Jackie
about
Chan
part
is
of a
doing the
series,
same
part of a
shit.
series
I
and
don't
he's
give a
deserved that.
fuck what Chris
If
Tucker's doing
anyone,
in
is
Rush
anyone just
Hour.
grabbing
I'm not
Chris
gonna
Tucker
lie.
for a movie right now and he's getting $20 million?
No,
Not
but-
from a Friday trilogy, not from a Rush Hour series. Like, just,
I will
just
say-
here's a Chris Tucker movie, $20 million. He deserves it because of Friday.
True.
So I'm not mad at that.
He
But
is
call it
kind of
15
climbing.
and
He's climbing back up though,
Yeah, no,
because he went off
he's
the
a
scene
legend.
for a minute. But okay, since we talking about the movies and shit, are y'all gonna go see Good Burger 2 when it come out?
of course, but I'm not gonna say I'm
You
happy
fucking
about
lying right now. I'm not going to
No.
see Good Burger 2. I will watch that shit on Hulu. I am not going to. I'm not going to pay my money to go see it.
Because you on Hulu.
I'm going to see when it come on Hulu. I'm fucking with
Is
it.
that the shit? Welcome to Good Burger, huh?
Yeah, they making a part 2.
Take your order. That's
Yeah,
what I
So you're not
don't
gonna
care
support
about.
it?
So it'll be
That's
on
what I
Hulu.
don't care about.
I mean, me personally, I'm gonna go see it just for the nostalgia for it.
I ain't
Wait,
gonna lie.
never
That
mind.
was part of my
If it's on
childhood.
Hulu, I'm probably not. I'm gonna stay in my house and watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to the theaters.
So y'all
I ain't
niggas ain't
gonna-
supporting, all right?
No, I'm gonna support. I pay my Hulu shit.
I'm
you
gonna
ain't
fuck with it.
supporting.
I'm gonna support it if it come on Hulu.
My
I'ma
Fire
fuck with
Stick isn't jailbroke. I pay my Hulu shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Hulu cool. You can share your password on Hulu right now. Netflix they charge you
Netflix is that shit
$7.99.
down.
Yeah, for
Hulu
now.
fixed that shit with your location and the home shit.
Oh yeah,
Hulu,
they did.
Hulu got
They-
crazy with that.
Yeah, they cut you off real quick.
But Good Burger, yeah, I want to support.
Yeah,
It may not be good, but
How good do we think it's gonna be?
I don't think it's gonna
least
be
it's
like
a
the first one. It's been too long.
it's a remake with
There's
at
too
least
much
the
of a
people.
gap.
Oh yeah, it's a remake.
Because
At least the people.
yeah, if it was a remake with 2 other actors, no, I'm not seeing that shit.
So how
ever.
did you feel about White Man Can't Jump?
I did not see it.
Oh, you know
And that's
why
not
though?
a Jack Harlow thing.
Yeah,
I
it
promise.
is.
See, we gonna have to get up out of here on this note. He got us fucked
Shout out to
up.
Rory, man.
Did it need to be remade?
All right, hey, shout out to our guy Cal Medic.
And I love
Fuck what
Kenny
Rory
Barris. I
talking
do work with
about.
Kenny Barris. I just didn't know if it needed to
Hey,
be done.
fuck what Rory talking about. Go see White Man Can't Jump,
Yes.
man. The homies is in there.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're in there.
Yes, so go ahead.
Director, hey,
The manager called me. You said
Go see this shit.
go see Good Burger 2 too when it come out. Yes, in the theaters or Hulu.
Every remake.
Yeah,
Yeah, every remake.
we
man.
out, man. Thank you, Rory.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate.